Round one. Fight! The whole thing! Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tier Ranker Fights. This is episode number 59, and tonight we're talking about the best action movies from 1995 to 1999. And why so specific, you ask? Because the 90s are stacked when it comes to action movies. We tried to do one every decade. We had to split the 90s in half. And actually, I think this half of the 90s is the most stacked that there is. Like, it's crazy. We have a lot of movies on the list to potentially talk about. We won't get to them all, but we'll get to our favorites and the ones we think deserve to be high on the tier ranker. But and I'm your host, Jordan Movie Hero Anderson. Also, too, a little bit behind the scenes, I'm working on a new intro for the show. It's going to be half that long, and it's turning out really, really cool. I'm excited for it. Maybe by the next two episodes, you'll probably see it pop up here. So, but anyways, we'll go ahead and introduce the cast for tonight, or our crew that's going to be on the panel. I'll start with my co-host, Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
Hello. Yeah, a lot of good movies on this list. A lot of stinkers too, but we probably won't talk about too many of the stinky movies. We'll stick to most of the good stuff. But yeah, a lot of different types of movies to choose from, and we always seem to put together a pretty good list for the end of it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we also have joining us this guy we've gone back and forth for almost a year trying to get him on the show, but we have Mr. Chris Greiner, the hotel nerd. How's it going?
Hey, long time no see, guys.
Yeah. You came on for like a little half episode once, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was driving home from my previous job, that was keeping me away from doing these things. So,
nice.
But now that I'm no longer there and I have a life, I'm free to do my own shit. So,
nice. Well, if you're not familiar with the hotel nerd, this guy really knows his stuff. That's one reason why I wanted to have him on here, because he knows a lot about this stuff. So yeah, it should be fun. But and then we also have joining us Mr. Papa West. How's it going?
It's doing good. Chris, I need to correct you. I need to correct you real quick. Whenever you joined this community, what life you had, you lost. So you have a life. You lost it. Congrats.
Well, fair point.
Yeah. Yeah, we seem to be doing, especially like me and Austin. I know you, Papa, too. We're doing like videos like dang near almost every night, so it's fun. But we also have joining us Miss Marvelous Marie Wilson.
Hey, good. I'm so excited to be talking about these movies tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured there's about time we get a female perspective on here for once. I mean, we get one from time to time. They're rare and they're elusive, but we get them on once in a while. So, but
it's just like in real life, whichever ones actually say yes to us.
Yeah, right.
Which is rare.
Exactly. Yeah, rare. Yep, but we also have joining us Richie at Goodacre. How's it going, Richie?
What's up? Hello. Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. Yeah, this is a stacked few years. So it's going to be. With a sort of stacked panelist. I mean, I think there's still going to be a lot of movies still left over because it's probably the peak of my movie watching, action movies is here. I think, like early '90s, I was too little, so I didn't watch a lot. But like when it came out, but this is my sweet spot.
Nice.
2000s might be different because that's a lot of stinkers there, but this one,
Yeah.
Well, just a little preview. In the pool, we actually have 99 movies in there. Or actually, 98 movies. It's what it officially is. We're not going to get to all of them. We'll go for just over 2 hours, and then see how many we can get through in that amount of time. So it'll be fun. But then tonight we have a supersized episode. We got one more than usual, which will be fun. So we also have Mr. Steven Shepard. How's it going?
Hey, last week I won $8 at playing the Mega Millionaires. This week, you guys are going to be my lucky charms and so I'll win the jackpot.
All right.
Nice.
you win $9. Yeah.
If you win it, you got to split it with us, though, right?
That's how lucky charms work.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I want to have Steven on because I think out of everyone, I don't know for sure. We've all seen tons of movies, but you're kind of like the action guy, and in our like regular guests, we always have you on for these action episodes because you've seen damn near all of them. So yeah. But
unless you get Ben Bateman on the show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you get either the action guys, they've seen them all. But Austin, as the coach, do you want to break it down how it's going to work?
Yeah,
I'll
so
bring up the tier chart.
Yeah, so tier ranker fights is a little different than tournament fights or other show. We're actually going for kind of the best of the best here, as opposed to tournament fights where we sometimes have a little fun and some weird gags and silliness. And, it's not always the actual best. And sometimes it is, but this one's definitely more where we're actually going for the best. So like Jordan said, we have 98 or 99 movies, whatever it is, available in the pool. It doesn't mean we're going to sit there and go, down the list and talk about each one. It just means those are all available for nomination. So what we're going to do is we will start at the bottom of the rack over there with Steven. We will go up the ladder, and everybody will get a chance to pick a movie from the pool for nomination. So you can nominate it for any tier you like. You can go straight for S tier. You can go, which S is for superior, by the way. So we want to try to, at the end of the show, have a definitive top 10 in our S tier, and then we pick a few honorable mentions from the A tier. But yeah, it's just like things in school, except for S is superior, the best of the best. But you can pick a bad one. You can pick something in the middle, like B tier, something like that. We have tiers for not an action movie if you want to make an argument for that, or haven't seen. And usually we need at least 3 qualifying votes, people who have seen it, to at least get it on the board. If only 2 people on the panel have seen it, it goes into the haven't seen category. So yeah, anyways, we'll go up and down. Let's say Steven nominates movie A, and he puts the movie up in the S tier. We will go around the horn. Richie, Marie, probably everybody will get a chance to chime in on that movie. And we usually give about a minute or so for each person to kind of expand. But since we've got 7 people, it's a little stacked. So we might want to move it on a little bit faster. So maybe 30, 40, 45 seconds, something like that. Just make it a little bit quicker if we can, just because we got so many people and we want to get as many movies as possible and give everybody a chance to at least have 3 or 4 regular kind of round picks, and then we will have a Hail Mary kind of last chance round. We might modify that a little bit because of the amount of people tonight, but we'll still give everybody a chance to nominate some stuff at the last second. But yeah, so Steven will nominate something. We'll go around the horn, get everybody's grades on it. Then Richie will nominate something, go around the horn, get everybody's grades on it, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of how it works. We go to about the 2 hour and 15 mark, something like that. We find a good place to wrap it up. We hit the Hail Marys, and then we individually rank the S tier. So that's kind of how it works, and we'll figure all that out. I do have my handy dandy notebook, as I usually do, keeping track of all the votes, because we need that for later, kind of determining our actual rankings. So I'll keep it all down, and we'll get everything going. So Jordan will post the list of movies in the private chat as we get going here. But other than that, I think we'll be ready to go, unless I forgot anything. I think we're good.
Yeah, and it might take a little longer to get it in the private chat because it only lets me post it a little bit at a time. So in the meantime, it's also in our group chat that we had on Facebook. You can
so you can
just put it there.
Yeah, we reposted it.
Ignore all the asterisks on there. I have asterisks for my personal use. Just ignore those. Those don't mean anything. So, yeah. And then also, just so everybody knows, we do only allow 10 movies in the S tier. We might get more than 10 to to start off, but then by the end of the episode, we have to narrow it down to only 10. So
yeah, we've had some episodes where we end up with like 12 or 13 in there. In that case, the ones with the lowest amount of votes kind of get bumped down into the top of the A tier just for poll purposes and things like that, and those kind of become our honorable mentions. So so there's a lot of good movies on here, but we'll see what ends up where, kind of based on the votes.
Yeah, and all the other tiers, you can have an unlimited amount. It doesn't matter. So
yeah, we take kind of a consensus
from
everything. We write down all the votes and kind of come to a consensus as to where kind of the average goes. So that's kind of how it works. So hope that explains everything, especially Chris or Marie, some of y'all who haven't been on as much. Everybody else has been on here a bunch of times. Kind of knows how it works. Hope it makes sense. It'll make sense as soon as we get going pretty easy. So yeah, if that's the case, we'll start with Mr. Steven down there. I might know what he's going to go for right off the bat. We'll see if he does or not. Based on what he's going to talk about. Yeah, maybe showing his hand, but if you want to go for that, if not, you can hold it for later. But Steven, what do you want to nominate?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm going to hold off on that for later, actually.
Okay. Wait for Papa West to nominate it, then you can talk about it.
Do the slow scroll.
I hope people have seen this movie, but I don't know, maybe not. But I'm going to nominate Ronin.
Okay. Ronin, I know it's somewhere around here. If anyone sees it, someone have a hard time tracking these down wherever they are.
Over on the right-hand side, right above Soldier, under the Mummy.
Oh, yeah.
If only they were in alphabetical order or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used the cover for the new 4K. It's on 4K. So
yeah.
But what do you think, Steven, about Ronin?
Yeah, it's got a really cool plot with lots of twists and turns and some of the best car chases in any movie ever. And, it's got a stacked cast: Robert De Niro, Natasha McElhone, Jean Reno, Jonathan Pryce is in it.
Sean Bean,
yeah. I just think it's really great from start to finish, and I think it's definitely one of the best movies on this list.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Sorry, my dog's trying to keep.
Oh, it's all good. We can even come back to you if you need us to.
No, that's right. I'll be 2 seconds.
Okay.
We're up on the show.
Ronin. I don't have like sort of high memories of it. I've seen it. It's been a long time. Yeah, so I don't know if I could. I like. Yeah, it's good, but I just don't have those fond memories of it to warrant putting it in the S tier. I don't know. Maybe like a solid B.
That sounds good. Well, Marie, what do you think about Ronin?
So I have not seen this movie, but I did watch the trailer, and my response to the trailer was meh. Could be interesting. So I don't know. I have no idea.
That's fine. Usually, if you haven't seen it, I mean, we just kind of abstain from giving it a ranking. So,
gotcha.
So yeah, we'll move on to Papa West. What do you think?
Ronin. What is there to say about Ronin? Statcast. Steven thinks it's an S. Richie thinks it's a B. Marie hasn't seen it. I don't know what to say about it because Marie, just like you, I have not seen it.
Okay, so that's fair enough. Austin, what
Chris,
do you think? Oh yeah. Sorry, Chris. Yeah.
Chris.
Don't want to skip you. Sorry.
I have never even heard of this movie.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Austin, we'll see if we get a third.
I've seen it. I've seen Ronin once. I saw it once. I do remember the one car chase sequence, kind of the one in the middle of the movie that everybody kind of talks about. Other than that, I don't remember much about it. I just remember it being kind of a generic kind of suspense movie. I remember the car chases being good, but to me, these S-level movies are ones I've gone back to multiple times. I think the ones that have made like a big impact, ones that have some sort of, a big fan base, or ones that just really stick out and have kind of stood the test of time. I don't hear a lot of people talking about Ronin. I haven't thought about Ronin since I saw it, really. So for me, that means it's not really S tier in my book. Maybe I need to go back to it, but from what I remember, it was okay. So I'll go with Richie. I'll give it a B because I do remember the car chases being pretty good.
Yeah, So I haven't seen Ronin either. I realized when I looked at this list, I'm like, oh man, I've seen less than half of these. I was able to watch a few though to try to catch up, but Ronin's one that I haven't seen. I have heard about the car chases being pretty good, but I haven't seen it, so I gotta abstain. But we did get 3 votes, so we can still.
Yeah, so it's an A and 2 Bs, maybe like a low A. We give a little bit of leeway to the person who nominated it, but it's still going to get bumped out for now, and we'll see what happens. So we will go to Richie for your first nomination, sir.
All right. I think what I'm going to vote for is movie that came out the sort of tail end of the 90s. It's a really, really fun movie, and I even enjoy the sequels. I'm going to go The Mummy.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I think Brendan Fraser is great in this. His chemistry with Rachel Weisz is good. A great is it Andre Vosloo? Is that his name?
Arnold Vosloo, yeah.
Arnold Vosloo, yeah. Like he's
Oded Fair is great. Yeah,
he's a great villain, and it's just very entertaining, and I'm very captivated by it's just a fun adventure movie, and I'm glad to see Brendan Fraser getting sort of a resurgence here. I'm looking forward to the movie The Whale that's coming out with him in it.
Well, he's also in the new Scorsese movie later this year, Killers of the Wild Flower or whatever it's called, something like that.
The Flower Moon,
Flower Moon, whatever it's called. But yeah, he's in the new Scorsese movie, which is cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that because I feel like we didn't appreciate what we had when he had him in the 90s sometimes. But I think it's definitely S tier. I've gone back to it a fair few times. It's one of those ones where I had on VHS, and it was one of those VHS I definitely wore out more than the other ones. So I think it's worthy of an S tier. So there you
go. All right. We'll go to Marie.
Sounds good.
So
Marie,
I saw this movie in theaters. Of course, I was pretty young, but I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I never saw it again. So I don't know. Like, it's a lot of fun, but I am thinking maybe a B for me.
Sure, yeah. Sounds good. Chris, what do you think?
Papa West.
Sorry.
Yes, I got this, Jordan. Don't worry about it. Papa West.
Jordan, I swear, you skipping people, repeating people is going to make this show twice.
To be fair, though, I'm seeing it. Everything on a split screen, and literally, y'all are like that big on my screen.
It's all right. I got my full screen going.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I got you.
I got you. To see who's Papa West. Okay.
I got you.
Okay. Pez, thank you for remembering me. That means so much. Steven, thanks for starting us off with the banger. Richie, way to save the episode. The Mummy absolutely is an S tier. Rachel Weisz, Brendan Fraser, phenomenal. The only thing that would have made Tomb of the Dragon Emperor watchable is if they kept Rachel Weisz, but they did not. This has comedy. This has horror. Like those scenes where the mummy is killing the Americans who steal the little idols creep me out as a kid. And then you have Benny, like the best comic relief.
Yeah.
I don't feel like people talk about Benny enough. Just the scene where the mummy's coming at him and he starts holding up the necklaces, speaking in the languages. I think that is like one of the best written scenes, just to show like this person just wants to survive and he'll do just about anything. Absolutely, this belongs in the S tier.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
good. Chris.
All right. So, first off, I want to give you guys a little tidbit about this. I just found out just this week, actually. The opening scene where the girl comes out, the Empress or whatever.
No, wrong movie.
The Pharaoh's mistress or wife or whatever.
Oh, that one. I thought you were talking about the Tom Cruise one for a second and talking about what's her name. I was like, no, we're not talking about that movie. No, we're not talking about that mummy.
Yeah. Well, the opening day that they started shooting that scene, because I guess they opened with that scene to start shooting, it was Brendan Fraser that came out in that outfit.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't even supposed to be on set, and I watched the interview, and Brandon Fraser goes, "The look on the guy's face that I came out to was priceless."
That's
But
awesome.
anyhow, with that said, with that story alone, that's S tier in itself. But for me, the movie is more like an A. It's a very high A. It's a low S, but if I'm putting it anywhere, I'm putting it as a high A. For all the reasons that were given, and I have seen this movie multiple times. Brendan Fraser just doesn't hit the mark with me for whatever reason. It's not that I don't like the guy. It's just he's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Also, a bit of a tidbit that hanging scene that at the start that actually went wrong. He actually was legit
hanging there. Yeah,
he was actually hanging there. So he
Really?
What?
He almost died.
Yes.
Dang, that's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you
Look,
think?
anybody who knows me knows this movie is very special to me. It's in my top 10 movies of all time. Period. I think this is one of the great movies ever. I think it's one of the most purely entertaining movies ever made, start to finish. Great score, great locations. It actually has good stuff like, shot in the desert. It's got great sets, special effects that like mostly still hold up. I think for the most part they still do. Excellent cast. Yeah, I think Brendan Fraser actually has the right mix of the machismo when you need it, but he's also very likable. He's got some funny moments. He's not as he's not a superhuman like Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything, but he's got a still good personality. His chemistry with Rachel Weisz is great. And yeah, the whole supporting cast is awesome. I just think it's one of the great action adventure movies really ever made. To me, we ranked it on, we did the Mummy versus Indiana Jones on Henry Confidential's thing. I had this at number one. I had it above all the Indiana Jones movies. I love this movie. I love this movie to pieces, and I love Indiana Jones too. But this movie just is so special to me. I love it so much. So yeah, it's an S tier. Easy for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it was also your favorite movie for your top 64 when we originally did that. So
Roger Rabbit won, but it made,
you're right.
But it made the dark horse. It was the dark horse of the tournament. Made it to the final four, which I was very happy with.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's pretty high up there. I know, but yeah, the Mummy is awesome. Like I love the Mummy a lot, and it's infinitely watchable. Like it's so rewatchable that it might make an appearance in my top 128 because originally it didn't, but like I've seen this thing probably like a dozen times, maybe even more in it. And Brendan Fraser just so likable. Like I'll watch him in like almost anything that he does, whether it's like he's popping up on TV and then or like in just some kind of movie that like you wouldn't really think about, maybe like The Scout or like some random movie. He's still fun in like almost everything that he does. So yeah, and we had a little break where like Brendan Fraser went away for a little bit. I remember that, and I was kind of sad about it, but he came back and now he's acting in it again. So I'm happy to have him back. But the Mummy's awesome, and yeah, I agree with the Benny character. Like I would watch a spin-off movie just about Benny because like he is a fun time. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna vote S tier for the Mummy.
All right, and one more. We got Steven.
Steven.
It is a lot of fun. It's probably the best Indiana Jones knockoff outside of Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't quite go S tier. I'd probably go A tier, but I mean, it's clearly made it by now anyway. So, but yeah.
Yeah. So where are the votes at?
It's 4 S's and 2 A's and a B. Usually 4 S's is kind of enough to keep it up in S tier, at least for now. Now, if there are other movies that get a bunch of 5s and things, it could be on the border later. But usually 4 is at least enough to kind of get it secure a spot, having 4 out of the 6 or 7 people that we usually have. So it usually is enough to kind of skirt it in there. Unless unless all the other votes are like D's and F's, which didn't happen this time. If the other votes are at least positive, usually that's enough to hold it in there. So yeah. All right, so we'll go to Marie Wilson with your first nomination. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go big and go with my absolute favorite movie on this list and one of my favorite movies of all time, and that would be Blade.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's around here, right?
Right.
Right
Yeah.
there. There you go with the red.
Yeah, it was under Austin's favorite movie, Assassins.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
The 2-hour, 15-minute classic Assassins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Got a long run time. Yeah.
Anyways, Marie. Yeah, tell us about Blade.
So okay, so Blade. It was my middle school years were defined by this movie. Like it came out, I saw it in theaters and was just obsessed. I was really big into vampires way before vampires were okay to be into. So it was like yeah, like I just loved it. I love the music. I listened to the soundtrack all the time. I love that there's a sexy villain in Deacon Frost. And I was a Deacon Frost girl. Like I was not a Blade girl. I was all about the vampires. And I dressed up as Mercury for Halloween and the blonde chick with the pigtails. And like there's so much action and there's a really cool plot, really cool story. I love the craziness at the end with all the pure blood vampires and then all the like the weird blood mazes and all that stuff. It's just crazy. I love that movie. Okay, I'll stop talking.
No, it's all good.
No, it's fun. Yeah.
All right. I guess S tier for Marie. So Papa West.
Yeah. Papa West.
Me being a little bit of a comic book nerd and also a Marvel, not fully a shill yet, because the checks have not come in yet. But I'm still waiting, Disney. Still ready to hit whenever. No, I didn't grow up with Blade. I did come to it a little bit later, but I fell in love almost immediately. I mean, you have Wesley Snipes, fantastic performer, just a flat out badass. Deacon Frost, crazy. I also really love Chris Christopherson as Whistler.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that little the sidekick there. I love that they bring him back in Blade 2. So I do think it deserves a spot in S tier. Also, it brought it kind of helped bring along the comic book genre that we know and love today.
Yeah, for sure. Chris, what do you think?
This is definitely S class, like hands down. Without Blade, you wouldn't have gotten even Spider-Man. I don't think you would have got Spider-Man. Blade just it said hold my beer and it knocked it out of the damn park. And Blade 2 is, oh my god, so much better. Now Blade 3, we don't talk about that one. So but yeah, Blade was awesome. If I remember correctly, it's been close to a decade since I've seen this film. That's the one that opens up with the nightclub.
Yeah, the rave.
The nightclub. Yeah.
With the blood coming from the sprinklers.
Yes. That scene is like, as soon as that scene happens, like, yep, I'm sold. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, I will say the CGI at the end kind of hurts.
It's
film.
wacky.
Yes. The CGI is pretty abysmal. I mean, considering back when this film was made, it was good for its time. But now when you look back on it, God, that dated terribly.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's an S. I mean, take away the CGI element, and it's an S.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, totally. I wouldn't have thought about it initially when I was putting together my own personal list. But when I was looking back over it, I was like, yeah, Blade. You could probably make an argument it might be the best comic book movie of the 90s. Like, because I know we didn't have the greatest comic book movies, in the 90s. Like, it was a little hit or miss here and there. There's arguments for other ones if you want to make it, but it's up there. It's in the conversation. I think when people think about Wesley Snipes, this is one of the first things they think about for a reason. He's a total badass in this movie. That from the opening scene on, it's awesome. It's got a great look. It's well directed. And it showcases everything that makes Wesley Snipes kind of cool, amazing. Yeah, great villain. Chris Christopherson's great. So yeah, I wouldn't put it at like the top of the S tier. Like if we go to vote for it, like I wouldn't put it probably in the top 3, but this is like a perfect one for maybe like a 9 or 10 spot. I could roll with that, but I'll still go S tier.
Yeah. So I have a bit of a confession. I haven't seen Blade. Like, it is one of my weird blind spots. But the funny thing is, I've seen Blade 3, the worst of the series, is the only one I've seen because it came on TV and I just watched it. But
to be fair, when Jordan messaged me filling in a couple of blind spots, and he filled in a couple, one of the 4 I told him to, he just didn't have time to get to it, was Blade. So I tried.
Yeah.
I told him to watch Blade. I said I had a feeling.
Next on my list. Yeah.
It literally would have been next if he had 2 or 3 more hours. He probably would have gotten to it.
Yeah.
And honestly, watching it on TV, it probably had a better experience than what I did having watching it in the theater, because I probably took out a lot of the worst shit in the movie.
Yeah. Probably so. But so yeah, we'll have to abstain from this one. But
all right, Steven.
Okay, Steven.
I'm trying to think of all the comic book movies that came out in the 90s.
I mean, other than like the Batman sequels, and you have like the Shadow and the Rocketeer and the Phantom, which I love, but it's not, it's not gonna make S tier on this show. The Steel. I mean, it's up there. I would say it's at least in the conversation for one of the top 3. I would say pretty easily. You can make that argument.
Yeah, I mean, I like Blade. I enjoyed it a lot. I do think Blade 2 is better. I do like Stephen Dorff as Deacon Frost. I think he's a cool villain, and the great chemistry between Wesley Snipes and Chris Christopherson. I actually didn't hate Blade Trinity, but one of the things I do hate about that movie is what they do with Whistler. It almost makes me think they never even should have brought him back. I would probably. I don't think I like Blade. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's a great movie. I would probably go for like a high B, low A.
Okay.
Yeah, so, fair.
All right, Richie.
Richie, yeah.
I really like Blade a lot. I like probably out of the 3, I like Blade 2 the most. But yeah, it's been a while since I've gone back to Blade. But yeah, I remember. I do really enjoy it. Again, like I don't hold it in the high esteem as some of you, but I would go solid A. Sure.
All right. Well, it's kind of similar to the Mummy. It's got 4 S's and an A and a B here, but it'll be enough to at least keep it up there for now. So it will stay in the S tier for where it's at right there. And we will go on to Papa West for your first nomination, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So Jordan, scroll down to the M's.
All right. Let's see. That's okay. About here, maybe.
I don't see it. Where is it?
Maybe at the end or something. We had a few last minute editions, so just name it out. We'll find it. We'll find it.
Not a last minute edition, because this one should be the first one we talked about. But now Steven had to do something random.
Oh, maybe back at the top. I think I saw it back at the top, Jordan. Just
what happens when you bring a bunch of fighters from all different universes and bring them together for a tournament to determine what happens to Earthrealm? You get Mortal Kombat.
That's right. Right here, I just got the post that's the cast on it. So.
There we go. No copyright infringement. Do not worry, Jordan.
Yeah. No, you're good.
And here I thought you were going to say Simon Says.
Yeah, right.
That is my next pick, Richie.
Has anybody besides me actually seen that?
Right.
I've seen it. Yeah. I wish I hadn't, but I have.
Mortal Kombat, one of the best video game movies. I'm pretty sure we formed that into canon in an earlier video. Watch it if you haven't watched it. Do yourself a favor there. The video, not Mortal Kombat. You should have already watched Mortal Kombat. It has great fight scenes, great one-liners, horrible CGI, but who cares? It makes up for it in the comedic relief. Mortal Kombat, S tier. And if you say otherwise, you're wrong.
Right. Yep. Chris, what do you think?
So while I love this movie, and I believe that before Sonic and Sonic 2, this was the best video game movie that has ever been made. because I mean, where are all these actors at now? I just they showed up, they were flash and pan, they're gone. So to me, it's an F.
Oh, really? Ooh, ouch.
Wow.
Kick him out, Jordan. Kick him out.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the movie.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wipe the F.
No, you're still good.
Yeah, I do. I love the movie though.
Right when you
but
said I
it's
love
just-
the movie, I kicked you out.
Yeah, I the movie itself on its own merits I love, but because the cast they flashed the pan and then they went they do who was it? The one that played Raiden was the only one that was like relevant, and I can't remember his name right now.
Christopher Lambert.
It's really
Yeah,
there.
thank you.
Yeah.
He's the only one that remotely even did anything after this. Like,
Yeah.
where did the rest of them go?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as
Well,
mine.
I mean, I could tell you if you want to know. I mean,
Yeah.
off the top of my head, I mean, Lyndon Ashby lived in Jacksonville, right near me, and I met the man several times. Robin Shue went on to do Beverly Hills Ninja, and then he kind of dropped off the face of the earth till Death Race. Oddly
Oh
enough.
yeah, Robin Shue.
Let's see. Bridget Wilson, after Billy Madison and this, married Pete Sampras and retired, and didn't need to work anymore. And then Christopher Lambert, still doing random stuff here and there. He's still around a little bit.
You're like a
And
stalker of the Mortal
Kerry
Kombat
Tagawa,
cast, Austin.
Kerry Tagawa as Shang Tsung may have the best post career. Actually, he's in everything.
Yeah. He's one of
He's still
those.
doing
I mean,
it.
I've seen him in
One of
other
those character
stuff,
actors.
but here's the thing, though. All those names,
Mhm.
you just named them all off, and I'm trying to think who they are. Like,
Yeah.
they don't stick in my mind. And I'm not trying to be an ass about it. It's just like
Oh, you're good.
I don't know how else to say it other than just to be an ass about it. It's like, who are you? What have you done?
So, Chris, I have a quick question for you. When you watched the movie, did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, just from the movie, man.
Yeah.
That's the entire point of the movie. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
they do afterwards.
Doesn't matter what the cast does. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But I feel the way I
What has Stephen Dorff done since Blade?
Yeah. Yeah.
also
What
true.
Wesley Snipes done?
Yeah,
so it's just-
Wesley Snipes ain't done much in the last 10 years either.
well, it's kind of hard to have an acting career when you're in jail for evading taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, Austin, what do you think?
you're gonna stick with F, even though you enjoyed the movie. I feel like that's
Yeah.
from movies you absolutely hate. Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah, I'm sticking with F.
okay, all right. Okay, so while I won't go S tier, I'll tell you why. I'm still gonna go A tier, but I'll tell you why I won't go S. Because when it comes to stuff like Mortal Kombat, when we're talking about video game movies, like on tournament fights, it absolutely is one of the best. But that's also like saying you're the tallest little person. It's like, when the bar is down here and you kind of skirt into here, you're doing all right for a video game movie. So while it may be the best video game movie of the 90s, one of the better martial arts movies of the 90s, I cannot say it is one of the all-time great action films of the 90s. When I think action films, there are other films I think of well beyond Mortal Kombat. So, like, again, I enjoy the movie. I'm putting it in an A tier. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very entertaining. But I think there are other movies on this list that just have a higher standard of quality than Mortal Kombat. So I will go A tier.
Yeah, well, Papa West, I'm 100% with you. Mortal Kombat from the 90s is the freaking S tier. Let's go. Like,
Let's go.
this movie's so much fun. Yeah, and I gave it a rewatch recently because we did Best Combat Sports, and they do have a tournament. I don't know why they didn't do a tournament in this other Mortal Kombat. Maybe they're saving it for the second movie, and they're going to bring back Johnny Cage and do a whole tournament. I hope, but I remember when I watched it, I was getting ready to work out, and I was getting ready to run on the treadmill, and like when that Mortal Kombat song comes on, I was just so pumped up, and like normally I'll run maybe like a mile or two. I ran like 4 or 5 miles because I was just so in a trench in this movie, and I was just watching, not paying attention, just running, not really like realizing how tired that I was because I was so pumped up about this freaking movie. Like it's so much fun. Like I don't care that any of the actors didn't go on to do anything. I have an absolute blast with this movie. So yeah, this is an easy S tier for me for sure. I was gonna nominate it if you didn't. So yeah, S tier.
All right, Steven.
So yeah, Steven.
I enjoy it a lot. It is definitely a guilty pleasure, but I can't go beyond B for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Richie?
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mortal Kombat. It's a lot of fun. I still think it's a bit, I have that high regard for Sonic or Sonic 2, so I still think it's one of the best video game movies. I have more fun with this than I do Sonic. So, but yeah, like given that we all acknowledge though while it's entertaining, it is stupid. I can't put it on I just can't put it on like one of the best action movies, kind of like I don't think it's like one of the top tier action movies, but I'll give it an A.
All right.
Yeah, and I got to give a shout out to my cousin in the chat here. He's absolutely right. My vote should count for 2. Yes, let's go. Yeah, but no, not really. But
also shout out to UFC fighter Curtis Blades, who walks out to the song. He's fighting next weekend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That is like the best song to walk out.
Shout out to Israel Adesanya, who came out to the Undertaker's music.
That was very funny.
yeah. It's just kind of weird. Psych. Yeah. But
anyways, Marie.
Yeah,
So,
Marie, what do you think?
I have not seen this movie.
Oh wow, okay.
Looks like I'm the only one who has not seen it, but I have not.
Yeah.
And y'all make it sound like it's worth seeing. So
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah, just one of those like turn your brain off, just shove popcorn in your face and just have fun. Like don't look for like a like great acting performances. Just look for like really badass fighting and like all the nostalgia from the video games. It's all there. So yeah. But
so we've got 2
What's that?
S's, 2 A's, a B, and an F. So the F drags it down a little bit. It's probably going to go bottom of A. Bottom of A, top of B. It's kind of skirting that line with the other B and the F. We'll be generally keeping the bottom of A for now, but it's not going to we'll see.
We'll be generous since the one who picked it gave it an S. I guess we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit generous on that. So. Okay, so we are going to move to Mr. Chris. You will go next. You want to pick a movie to talk about, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Boondock Saints.
All right.
That's fun word. It's right there. There you go. Cool. And then where would you rank it and why?
That's an S.
Okay, S. And what do you think about Boondock Saints?
First off, when I think Boondock Saints, I think the cat scene.
Yeah.
And
good
the
stuff,
first time I've seen Boondock Saints and the cat scene came up, I laughed more than I was shocked because I just found it absolutely hilarious. And I definitely had to have my nerd card revoked for a while because I didn't realize that that was Daryl in The Walking Dead. I started watching The Walking Dead very, very late because my son actually was the one that got me into it. And then it took me forever to realize that it was Norman Reedus. It's like, oh shit.
Yep, that's him.
So, he said something on the show and it reminded me of Boondock Saints, and then that's when it clicked together. Oh god damn it. Like no wonder I like the show because I like Norman Reedus as an actor. But yeah, the Boondock Saints is great, and I'll be honest, I don't think the sequel gets enough love either. I don't think the sequel is as good as the first one, but I think the sequel did a very good job of complimenting the first one. I just like the fact that the brothers just go around and just mow people down just because they're badasses and they hate people, basically. People that do bad things.
Yep. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
So, despite the fact that I have the McManus brothers guarding my living room,
oh dang,
right here, so I do have them. and I have a picture of me, an 8x10 of me getting executed by the Boondock Saints at a comic convention. So I am a fan of Boondock Saints. I am not a massive fan of the Boondock Saints. I like the Boondock Saints very, very much. And I should be full disclosure. I won those at a VIP contest. I did not purchase them, so I have them. But it's because I just won them at a raffle. While I do think this movie is really fun, it's really good. The action scenes are adequate. They're pretty good. There's a lot of stylized stuff, almost over stylized things in this movie. I think there's a couple of Tarantino ripoff elements to this movie that Troy Duffy was trying to do his best sort of Tarantino impression for a lot of this. There's some cool stuff. William Dafoe's doing a wonderfully wacky performance in it. One of his more memorable ones. I'll go A tier for Boondock Saints because I think it's a fun 90s movie. It's a good watch, but an all-timer, probably not really in my book.
Yeah. So I really do like the Boondock Saints. I especially love like all the music from it too. Like that's some of the stuff that I grew up listening to in high school and stuff. And it's a fun action movie, but I mean, I kind of feel like it doesn't hold up so much when I go back to give it a rewatch. Which to be fair, I've only seen this movie twice, so I've only given it one rewatch because I was pretty late to it. I only saw it last year for the first time, and it's good, and it's a pretty fun duo with Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus, and then William Dafoe is a great villain. Like he should play villains like most of the time because he's great at it. But
Billy Connolly shows up.
Billy Connolly,
yeah. but yeah, just for the fact that it doesn't quite hold up, and I think that's like a really cool concept, but I wish that like I don't know, some of the effects don't, and then also some of the like just the way that the movie plays out. So I'll give it an A for me. So
Steven.
Yeah, Steven.
So of the 99 movies that are on this list, I've only not seen 6 of them. And unfortunately, this is one of those 6. So I have to abstain.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the record, he's seen things like Simon Says, but hasn't seen them.
Simon Says in theaters and when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
Ooh. Wow. That's
I was the only one in there.
Priorities, Steven. My God.
Yeah.
Richie.
Yeah, Richie.
I'm debating whether to bring that, just bring Simon Says up because I kind of want to talk about that movie. Anyway, yeah.
Certainly can.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, oddly enough, it's one of 2 Dennis Rodman movies on this list, which is kind of baffling that we have 2 Dennis Rodman movies. There should not be 1 Dennis Rodman movie, much less 2.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s. Oh, these basketball stars are larger than life. Let's make them.
Yeah,
movies.
but Shaq and
Shaq and
Jordan, those guys. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm one of the. I've seen the second Boondock Saints. I haven't seen this one. It was weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I have to abstain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marie.
Fair. Marie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I have not seen this one either.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. Well, Papa West, have you seen it?
It is legitimately upsetting me that the Boondock Saints is going to end up higher than Mortal Kombat. What makes me even more upset is I physically cannot do anything about it because I have not watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched it. Well,
as of right now, it's got higher than Mortal Kombat and Ronin, even with 3 votes.
You should have 4 votes since there's 7 of us. You got to break 50%.
Yeah.
No, it's always been 3. It's always been 3. 3 is enough. Boondock Saints will again 1 S and 2 A, so maybe around the top of A right now. It may not make it even into honorable mention territory by the end of this, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Well, Austin.
I'll just go for one that I think is going to be a shoe-in kind of all around. I think there's one that there are these kind of corner, these touchstones in action films and in Hollywood that kind of change the game, that make us rethink what we can do with action movies. It's The Matrix. The Matrix has to be, I think, near the top of the list. It maybe even a shoe-in for number 1. There are movies like this, Terminator 2, Die Hard. You know, there are these movies that kind of change the game. They always have tons of ripoffs. You know, they come out right afterwards. But not only is it a great action movie, it's a great science fiction film. It's a great movie that makes you think. You know, it's got a lot of really good philosophical and moral questions to it. Tremendous characters, tons of character actors pop up. Lawrence Fisher was amazing in this movie. Absolutely incredible. You hang on every word he says as Morpheus. And yeah, like I said, even just the action elements, the bullet time stuff was revolutionary at the time. Nobody had ever seen anything like it. It changed the game for CGI. The lobby scene is one of the great action scenes of all time. I will stand on that hill till I die. I think it's one of the great scenes ever. But really, really good stuff. Really engaging. I think it's a shoe-in for at least the top 3 of S tier.
Yeah. Well, those are my words exactly. Like the Matrix was my favorite movie of all time for years and years and years, and I know my favorite movie is Logan, but I mean it's still my number 2. And man, I have so much love for this movie. This movie like really means a lot to me when it comes to cinema. Like I remember that I was late to the party. I didn't see it in theaters, and I really wish that I had. So I've been waiting for any chance that I can ever have to go see it if it's ever playing anywhere. But the first time that I've ever done this with a movie, I watched all the way through it over at a friend's house, and then immediately as soon as it was done, we put it back in and we watched it a second time, 2 times in a row because we liked it that much. So because he had seen it once before, but I hadn't seen it, and my jaw was literally on the floor, like I couldn't believe what I had just seen. And yeah, like it just catapulted Keanu Reeves up as one of my favorite actors. Like I used him really, really well in this movie, and some of the sequels maybe not so great, but I do defend maybe 1 or 2 of them. But yeah, it's a great cast, and it's a movie that like all other action movies want to be, that they get compared to. And what the Wachowskis did, they always do some pretty cool groundbreaking stuff whenever they make movies. And yeah, my favorite scene is always when he goes to the metal detector and he's like, "Sir, could you remove any metal objects you might have?" And just open it up, and it's just guns galore. And you have like a glorious battle scene of them flipping around and like doing the bullet time and doing all that stuff. And like it's just a really cool, creative premise, because like what if we're all just in some kind of simulation, and it's kind of interesting to think about that. What if that kind of thing was actually a real thing? So yeah, so this is probably going to be the easiest S tier of the night for me. So yeah, S tier for sure. So
Steven?
Yes, Steven.
I think it's a better action movie than science fiction, even though I think it's still a great science fiction movie. But it came out around the same time as other movies that did kind of a similar thing, you know, like Dark City, and even though it wasn't well received, I always thought the 13th Floor was underrated. But it's still an S tier for sure, though.
Yeah. Richie.
Minor point of contention, although it's just being pedantic. Jordan, if you watch the movie, why did you need to take it out and put it back in? Just rewind it.
Yeah. Like we didn't really. That's just a figure.
That was one of the great things about this. Was the first DVD I ever owned, and when we had it on our CD-ROM or DVD-ROM on our computer, we would just watch the lobby scene over and over again without actually rewinding, just clicking the button to go back a scene. I was like, "This is amazing!" I can just click this one button. I don't have to rewind it at the end of the movie. You mean I can put the disc like in whenever I want to, and then I can just start the movie?
I don't have to rewind the VHS to send it back to the shop.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, yeah, Matrix. Yeah, this is on. Obviously, you see my top 64. It was on there for good reason. It's a revolutionary movie. I think it's still revolutionary today. I don't think anything has sort of touched it. Yeah, I just wish the sequels were kind of at least on par with the original, but it's unfortunate they're not. It's fantastic. It's one of the first DVDs I actually watched. Like there's the cool. Like I talked about before. There's a cool segment on a cool kind of feature on the DVD where White Rabbit, where you can you watch a movie, and like White Rabbit will come up, and you can see how that was sort of made. Absolutely S tier. It should be at the top. So yes.
Yeah, sounds good. Marie.
I'm having a hard time deciding between S and A. I mean, this movie's a classic, obviously. Everything that Austin said, yes. But I don't know.
If this movie isn't S tier, I don't know what is, honestly.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I honestly don't know what is. This is like the top of the top for me.
I mean, it's pretty darn cool. And I love the sci-fi-ness of it, the dystopian, like that's always my jam. Okay, fine, S.
Yeah. And also too, I forgot to
I'm very persuasive, as Jordan said in our text message today.
Yeah, right. I was telling him earlier today that he is, but yeah, I forgot to shout out Joey Pants. It's like a very kind of character that like people don't really give enough recognition to. The whole betrayal with Cypher and all that. That's always fun too. I always like to find something new to point out.
I think he's one of the most fascinating characters. I think the restaurant scene where he's legit talking about how he hates being in this shitty like non-Matrix world, like in the real world, and he'd rather be in the world where he could, eat a steak and live a life and not eat like this oatmeal garbage and like be in this cold ship like in this shitty world. Like it's a legitimate moral conundrum. You know what I mean? Like you almost are with him when he kind of gives his explanation. Makes that movie great.
Yeah, for sure. But Papa West. Yeah,
I was going to talk about Cypher. Thank you for stealing my thunder, Jordan. Richie, I do need to clarify. I don't know if they had this in Australia, but here in America, we have this thing called a VHS rewinder. So you had to pull out the VHS, put it in this box, and rewind it for you. It actually worked a lot faster than the VHS, so that's why some people had to pull
I had one that was shaped like a Corvette, like a car, and you stuck it in there separately, and you closed it, and it was a separate rewinder. Yes.
So good.
Yeah, like the ones we had, I just used, I don't know.
No, but the car one was cool. You would put it in, and the headlights would come on it as it was rewinding. It was kind of cool. It's really good.
That is awesome. But that being said, I love The Matrix growing up. Great movie. I watched it beginning of this year because I was going to watch all four of them because the newest one had recently come out, and I was dreading the second and third one. And I could not get past the first one. It has great moments. Cypher is I love Cypher as a character. Pez said it where they're eating. He's talking about how crappy it is. He gets out of the Matrix and that turn, and so they're just helplessly watching everyone die. And he's like, "I'm going to eat a steak," and then Tank kills him. It's great. But outside of it's those moments, this movie is boring. That being said,
disagree.
That being said,
you're killing me.
I watched it so many times as a kid. I cannot deny the cultural influence this has done. I mean, the Neo stopping the bullets, him bending backwards. Those have been parodied so many times. I loved it as a kid. I remember this being good. Maybe I'll finish it later, give it another rewatch. I don't know. I cannot in good conscience give this recent rewatch that much impact on my vote, so I will still go with an S tier because it belongs in the S tier.
Because you're still smart. That's good. But Chris.
So, I mean, if this isn't S tier, like y'all said, I mean, other than the gentleman before me, I don't know what is, because you want to talk about cultural influence. Super Sentai and Power Rangers Time Force went and did the bullet time scene in their shows, like immediately after The Matrix. So if that isn't like pop culture reference and just like rebound effect, what is? I mean, freaking Super Sentai and Power Rangers did your thing from a major motion picture and basically stole it. I mean, it looked absolute like shit.
Go watch the Forever Red episode of Power Rangers where they brought back all the Red Rangers. The entire action scene is nothing but bullet time Matrix shit.
Oh,
Right?
The entire
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The
It
entire
is.
scene. Yes.
It really is.
Uh-huh.
So I mean,
This is a good episode. Yeah.
when you have Super Sentai and Power Rangers stealing your shit, you did something right.
Yeah.
Just saying. So that's immediately S class right there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that one, it's a clean sweep, 7 of 7.
Yeah.
That's
So
here. So yeah, it's
we're at the top.
number one with a bullet right now. So all right, we'll go to you, Jordan. What do you want to talk about?
yeah. So I want to go with a movie since Austin already brought up The Matrix. I mean, I don't know if I was going to bring it up right away anyway, so I'm glad we got to talk about it. But I want to bring up one that I watched for the first time, which I'm surprised that it took me so long to get to it. It's just because of Michael Bay and like his reputation, but I got to go with The Rock. So let me see if I can find it here. If anyone sees it anywhere, I think it's probably under T for The Rock. Yeah, here it is. Okay.
The Rock. All right.
Yeah. So I did a few watches to watch some of these for the first time, and The Rock was probably my favorite of everything that I watched. And I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan, and especially crazy Nick Cage, and he gets pretty crazy in this movie. So yeah, like it's a fun time, especially when he's going up against Tony Todd too. That was one of my favorite scenes. And then you have Ed Harris as a great villain, and then Sean Connery, like Austin, we're talking about earlier today that there's some kind of James Bond like things that he kind of does in it too, So that's fun to see too, and yeah, like I just had so much fun from beginning to end in it, and I really like it because it just feels like less of a Michael Bay movie. There's still some of those Michael Bay isms and the kind of shots and things, but like it's just like really really cool, really fun that they use the whole Alcatraz thing and just all the soldiers, like the scene where all the soldiers get like blown away all at once. So it just comes down to Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery trying to take them all down. And yeah, this movie was so much fun. Wish I had seen it a lot sooner. This is one I'll be going back to, and it's one I'll have to think about if will eventually make my 128 because I probably want to give it at least another rewatch before I do that. But I mean, it'll be up there. So yeah, The Rock for S tier. So
all right, Steven.
Yeah.
Michael Bay has made 2 movies that I think are genuinely great. The other one being 13 Hours, which I think is was really great. And then there's actually another one here that from the late 90s that I love as well. But this is probably I go back and forth between this and 13 Hours as to which one is my favorite Michael Bay movie. And it's all about Cage and Connery, both of their performances and their chemistry. And also Ed Harris is great too, playing a very conflicted villain, because he's kind of this tragic figure. He just wants what he thinks his men have been abandoned by their country, and he wants them to get their due. So Ed Harris is great, and first of all, it's the best Nicolas Cage 90s action movie. I know that there's a lot of love for another one that'll come that I like.
Or two.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the other one, but I whenever you can make "How in the Name of Zeus's Butthole" a great line.
Yeah, a great line. Yeah,
that's when
you gotta scream it. Right?
Yeah, that's when you're doing something special.
Yeah.
So I agree for S tier for The Rock.
All right.
That's a good point though that you make about Ed Harris being kind of like a conflicted villain. That's not something you see very much.
He's not wrong in his reasoning. It's just how far he goes to get it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But he's coming from a place where you understand where he's coming from. But that makes a good villain. If you're kind of at least understand what he's fighting for, what he's going for, that makes for a good villain.
Yeah.
Richie?
Yeah, I mean, there are times where I don't want to give Michael Bay credit because I think he's like me. You know, I'm not a huge fan of his movies, and I think he's a weirdo. But the Rock is a really really good movie. Yeah, I've gone back to it a few times. So yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I will go S tier as well.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I've seen it, but it was a long time ago, and I don't remember much. So I mean, I remember it being exciting, but I'm just gonna have to go. I'll just go with A.
Okay. Sure, yeah, that's fair. Huh?
Yeah, Papa.
Papa West.
So this, for the longest time, has been a movie that has evaded me. And everyone's like, Jacob, you need to watch The Rock. Jacob, you need to watch The Rock. I laugh at people who study for trivia and watch movies right before stuff like this. So this is me pointing to myself, laughing at myself, because I watched it last night for the first time, and I must say I am glad that I watched it. Ed O'Neill, great performance. It starts off with him talking.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
It'd be a totally different movie.
Yeah, he's talking to the tombstone of his friend, and he's like, I'm about to do something. Don't look at me. Don't look down on me for what I'm about to do. And so like he's going to do something bad. And he ends up doing something really bad. But you do kind of root for him. Whenever these SEALs first or get out of the sewers and they're met by all the bad guys, and you have Ed, whatever his last name is, he's like, engage your safety and put your weapons down. I can't make that command. And then just that shootout ensues.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very, very good action scene. This movie is a really good movie. Probably not quite ready to put it in S tier. I do think it belongs in A, but I'm not going to hate y'all if it's in S tier. I hate y'all for other reasons.
Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
Unfortunately, this is Sean Connery's last good movie.
You didn't like Finding Forrester?
No.
You're the man now. No.
Unfortunately, this is Sean Connery's last good movie. This would have been a great movie for him to retire on, and unfortunately, we got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
But so I struggle with this one because I love the movie, but like I said, it's his last good one. I'm gonna say B.
Oh,
it's gonna be a B.
Yeah, well, we'll say that I wish he would have kept the long hair for the movie. That would have been cool to just keep that for the movie. He looked pretty cool with that long hair. But Austin?
So yeah, it's interesting. With The Rock, whenever I pop in my Criterion Collection DVD of this movie, which a lot of people forget that this and Armageddon, Criterion. This isn't my personal favorite Michael Bay movie, but I do agree it might actually be his most well-made movie and one that holds up better than a lot of the other ones. It's got a really good plot. It's got really strong action sequences. I love all the people that show up in it. Everybody that you see is kind of somebody. I love when Michael Biehn shows up. It's kind of one of his last big movies. I'm a big Terminator and Aliens fan, so it's him. And I think overall it's a really, really good movie. I love the prison aspect with the Alcatraz stuff. I've been to Alcatraz, so it's cool in that aspect. So good stuff. I'd probably go S tier for The Rock. Yeah, I think it holds up, and it's one of the better ones of the 90s.
Yeah. You can go ahead, Steve.
I was just gonna say, this movie has low-key stacked supporting cast.
Oh, it's everybody.
Yes, yeah.
There's a ton of great people in this movie.
Michael Biehn, Tony Todd, David Morse, John Spencer, John C. McGinley, William Forsythe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
tons of people.
Let's stack it. And one of the other guys I was going to point out, because I watched this, and spoiler alert, I watched Air Force One for the first time, and Xander Berkeley from 24 for you, Steven. He shows up in both of those movies. And also, so does Philip Baker Hall. He shows up in both. So I was kind of surprised to see both of them in both movies. So
Philip Baker Hall is in everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so, but
Okay, so we've
What
got
books?
4 S's, 2 A's, and a B. So it will again hang on to S tier for now. It's really right around Blade and the Mummy, kind of where it is right there. So we'll kind of decide a final ranking later. But yeah, it'll still hang up in there.
All right.
So yeah,
Sounds good.
all right.
All right. Well, we're back around to Steven. You got another pick.
I'm gonna go with another one that probably won't make it to S tier because I seem to be like one of the few people that loves this movie. But I'm a big Kevin Costner fan, and I actually really loved Waterworld.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Here it is.
You are taking some big swings here, Steve.
Yeah, you are, man. I'll give you props. You're swinging for the fences. Even I wouldn't go. Even I wouldn't use one of my picks for the Phantom, but you know, I mean, as much as I love it.
Because if I brought it up, if I brought it up during the Hail Mary round, I'll never get to talk about it.
That's true. That's true. Hey, go wherever you want, man. Waterworld.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the time, it was the most expensive movie ever made, and you actually see it on screen. It's a visually breathtaking movie. Great cinematography. I think the action scenes are fantastic, and the acting's not great, but I think it's solid enough. And I think the movie is a blast.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, sounds good.
Richie.
I mean, I don't think the movie's awful. I'll put it that way. There's probably some critics probably have you believe that it's like the worst thing ever just because how much money it lost. But the movie itself, like it's not bad, but it's not something I would go back to and go, oh, it's I need to watch this movie. It's amazing. Like it's like visually, like. These days, I only cite it because Jack Black has an uncredited cameo. But yeah,
Jack Black was actually in a lot of really small parts in the 90s.
Oh, a ton.
Yeah. But I think it wasn't until High Fidelity and then he hit his stride. But yeah, I'll look. I'm not going to go. I'll go C. There you go. C. In the water. C. Boom.
C. Yeah, the water. Yeah, right. But Marie, what do you think about Waterworld?
So it's been a while, but this is like my kind of movie. So many years in the future and crazy things have happened. So I'm going to go A because I really enjoyed it, but it's not one of those that really has like stuck with me that I've like rewatched a bunch.
Yeah. Sounds good.
But it's a super fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Papa West, what do you think?
Steven, you're kind of worrying me talking about the great action scenes in this movie. And then I remembered you thought Wrath of Khan was a great action movie of the 80s, which has like no action in it. And it all made sense.
Hey, there was a Star Trek movie that I would go for in the 90s, but it didn't. It's not on the list.
Yeah, it's not on the list because it's not an action movie. This movie's not bad. It's not good. Richie said it. The acting's weird. The action's not great. I'm upset I can't make the C pun. So I'm going to give my efforts a D because it's not quite a failure. Because I would have done it.
Yeah.
No, Waterworld belongs in the C tier, along with the actual C, so no one can watch it. But,
yeah. So you're going with a C?
C, just like Richie.
Okay. C, okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, Chris, are you still here?
Are you still with us? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
What do you think about Waterworld?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I had to attend to something.
No worries.
It's all good.
Waterworld. I'll be honest. I have seen it roughly-ish. I've fallen asleep every time. So I can't really definitely give an answer for it. but because I keep falling asleep on it, whatever your lowest grade is what it's getting for me.
The lowest grade so far is an lowest grade on here is an F. I mean, but the one that's been given is a C.
Well, F.
Okay.
I fall asleep every time. If I want to go to sleep, and I mean, matter of fact, now you guys bring up Waterworld because it's so boring to me that it like flew out of my psyche. But now that it's back in my psyche because I'm an insomniac, if I ever want to go to sleep and I have insomnia, I guess I'm putting this movie on.
Sure. Yeah.
So that makes him go to the 8th tier immediately, right?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Kevin Costner's done a lot of other stuff after this movie, so it's great.
No, I love Kevin Costner. I love Kevin Costner. And say what you will about Robin Hood, but I loved his Robin Hood.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Look, I'm fairly in the camp where the more and more we see these movies nowadays with so much just CGI and like fake shit and green screens, like to go back and watch a movie like Waterworld is really astonishing. Like, and it makes you kind of pine for some of these 90s movies that we didn't appreciate at the time. When you go back and watch them, I might even bring up a movie in my pick that I think is underrated that has a bad reputation, kind of like Waterworld, just because we don't get movies like this anymore that spent the money on these crazy sets, that spent the movies on these crazy costumes, that threw it all out there. And yeah, I go back and watch Waterworld. It's like Road Warrior on the water, which is why I kind of love it. It's kind of great. So while I won't go like S tier as far as Steven, I do think it's underrated, and I fully like it as far as again appreciating something that I don't think on the scale that we just get anymore. These crazy, high budget nutty movies, that went all out and had at least some good ideas and stuff that we don't see anymore. So I like Waterworld. I'd be lying if I didn't have it on 4K, which I do. and I've watched the Ulysses cut. That's 3 hours long and very much enjoy it. So I'll go A tier. I won't quite go S because I wouldn't put it on the same level as some of these other ones in the S tier, but I'll go A. I do agree with Steven. I think it gets a bad rap.
Yeah. Well, I unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, have not seen it. But the trailers look really, really cool. I mean, but I guess that's not really saying a lot about the movie. And like the cast is just kind of like an eccentric cast. Like you already mentioned Jack Black in there, and then Tina Majorino from Napoleon Dynamite, Deb. She's in this thing, I guess. So like I wonder if she probably doesn't have the side ponytail or anything, but and then Dennis Hopper. So I mean, it's an interesting cast, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say anything about it.
All right, so it's basically mirrored votes because we have like an S, 2 A's, 2 C's, and an F. So it's kind of mirrored, literally side to side. So it kind of goes around the B tier. B or C? Okay. I mean, B might even be B tier. Yeah, because it's kind of right in the middle. It's the one that doesn't have a vote. So
you can do that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
B pun is enough to drop it down to C tier.
Yeah,
not
right.
Quite, because not a lot of positivity to it, so not quite.
Yeah,
but yeah, it won't make us tier. No.
I just realized though that I don't remember who Jordan said from The Rock was in 24.
Sandra Berkeley.
Oh yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
but we have a lot of we actually have a lot of actors from 24 in these movies because they've gone to play bad guys. Because Arnold Vosloo, Tony Todd was in 24. And Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Forget about all those guys who appeared in 24. Yeah, but
all right.
But I was gonna say just really quick. It sounds like maybe the hotel nerd. You might gotta go if you want to do your pick now. If you gotta bump off,
do you have to bump off?
Give you a pick now. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I share a studio space with the bedroom space, and my.
No worries. Do you want to get one last pick before you go? You can go and get a pick out.
Yeah. My next pick was going to be Twister.
Okay.
All right. That might have been my next pick.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right.
That's solid. So what do you?
All right. What do you think, man?
What do you think about Twister?
I can watch this movie over and over and over again.
I have watched this movie over and over and over again.
Yep.
I love this movie, and I'm actually And I'm actually going to be giving you guys an exclusive here. I've actually been working on trying to pen a screenwrite for a sequel to Twister.
Oh, ooh, nice.
So
that's cool.
I don't ever think it'll go anywhere, but I just, my little headcanon, haven't got very far because, the whole work situation and all, but being I'm going to have time, I might actually go back to that and work on that again. So, nice. But, yeah, I mean, we had some great actors. I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace.
Bill Paxton, rest in peace.
Bill Paxton, rest in peace. Like, some great heavy hitters. I mean, Dusty is my favorite character by far, especially the whole food scene. What they're talking about going to mix. Probably my favorite scene out of that entire movie. There's 3 of them. One is when they're in the ditch and the truck gets tossed by the first tornado. Well, I guess technically it's the second tornado in the movie. But the first tornado that they're chasing.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Where's my truck?" And the drive-in scene, like, holy shit, that scene terrified the hell out of me. And I first seen this movie at a drive-in, by the way.
Yeah.
This scene terrified me, considering the fact that we had a thunderstorm nearby when this movie was playing. So
yeah,
that scene will forever be burned in my psyche. And how can you go wrong with the F5 scene? The finger of God. Like, and everybody, I know it's Hollywood, and I know, and I'm not a meteorological major or anything, but I'm a storm chaser myself. And some of the things that I've seen, holy shit, did they get it right with Twister? But also at the same time, holy shit, did they get it wrong with Twister? But yeah, so I would say it's going to be a low S class for me. And I universally just love this movie. I don't care. Give it all the crap that you want to give it. That's fine. But for me, this movie is amazing. And even the graphics to this day look absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I would agree. Yeah, well, Austin, what do you think about Twister?
Hey, Sean, you'll be happy to know this movie, as evidenced by tournament fights, is in my top 30 or 40 movies of all time. I love Twister. I've owned it on every piece of physical media you can own it on. I'm still waiting for that 4K. I've seen this movie probably 200 times, easy. Love this movie. Just really fun. Great action. Probably my favorite disaster movie of the 90s if you broke it all the way down. I love the entire cast. I have 2 pieces of signed autograph things from Twister. I have a Cary Elwes 8x10 from Twister that I got him to sign, and I've got my actual Twister Blu-ray signed by Sean Whalen, who's one of the storm chasers in the movie. So I love this movie to pieces. I'd go S tier pretty easily for Twister. I think this is immensely rewatchable. A lot of fun.
One other thing I wanted to throw in there real quick is probably the only other movie I've seen more than Twister is probably Ghostbusters 1984.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, Austin, did you also meet Jake Busey, who's in this movie too, in a small role?
He's
very small, but
very, very small. Like, I don't think he's not
listed in the. Yeah, he's just like one of the guys in the back of a van, or for
he's barely in it for like a minute. Not really.
But he's still listed on the cast. But
sure.
Twister's awesome. I remember the first time that I saw it, I watched it with my grandparents when it came out when they were a lot younger at the time, and this is what we used to test out their brand new surround sound system. We used Twister, and even to this day, I still use it because it has like really great sound design that just all the rumbling and the things flying
debris
in the
pieces falling all over the place.
Yeah. So it's really cool, and it's really fun, and after seeing this movie, I go on all the time. I love just going to watch like going on a whole rabbit hole of like tornado videos on YouTube, just like watching all the carnage and the destruction and like just seeing what kind of crazy stuff happens in it. And yeah, Twister is it's a lot of fun, and I would say that it's definitely an action movie because I mean you got to have a place for these disaster movies, and like what category they're going to fit better than action. I mean that's the closest thing. So yeah, I would easily say S tier for Twister. It's a great movie. Yeah, and I've probably seen it at least probably like 20, 30 times. Yeah, I've seen it a lot. Yeah. So, but yeah, Steven.
You're muted.
You muted. Yeah.
I like Twister.
One tally for the board.
Yeah, this came out, in the 90s. There was, a lot of disaster movies that came out. Some of them, I enjoyed quite a few of them. And I think Twister is probably one of the better of the disaster movies that came out. The only thing that knocks it down a little bit for me is, it's the twisters. It's never good enough. They always have to throw in a human villain there with Terry Elwes.
Oh yeah.
And every time his character did something, it was just kind of cringe inducing.
To be fair, Steven, when I met Carrie Elways and I got him to sign my Twister thing, I told him he had a very punchable face in that movie.
Yeah.
Which he was kind of flattered by. He goes, "Oh, I guess I did my job then."
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's not that he's not bad in the movie. It's just that I didn't think it was necessary.
No, it's kind of unnecessary.
To have a human villain,
but it makes for a fun villain death at the end where he gets thrown through the rebar at the end and then tossed. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go S tier, but I would probably go a low A.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'd go S tier on this. I watched it for our disaster one we did for, but yeah, I've seen it. I haven't seen it as many times as Austin, obviously, but I've seen it. I've seen it.
Nobody has.
Nobody has. I might be bigger than Chris. I'm a fan of this movie than Chris. Honestly.
Yeah, I have seen it a considerable amount. I think it's a fantastic movie. All the performances are great, and yeah, it holds up. And you know what? I miss Helen Hunt movies.
Yeah.
Kind of
is not doing as much. Yeah.
So yeah, S tier.
Okay. All right, Marie.
Love this movie. Love it. Natural disasters are always fascinating to me in movies. And I love that there's science going on. Like, it's just all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to go with S tier for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off the list.
Yeah.
Real quick, the sequel to Twister did come out. It's called Sharknado.
Yeah.
Shout out to the cow that got picked up by the tornado, thrown into an alternate universe to become a star in the animated series Barnyard, and also a movie.
Sharknado was a parody, not a sequel.
Yeah.
We got kind of a shitty sort of pseudo sequel called Enter the Storm that's garbage.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I love this pick because when you think of action movies, I mean, you think of just about everything that's on here, shooting each other at guns, the weird chases, and Twister, just that whole disaster genre brings in a whole new tier of action. So I think it's a great movie. And it's definitely, because it is that weird little vein of action that's not what you think of, it definitely belongs on the list, and I think it should be in the S tier as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
yeah.
Surprisingly enough, Twister, 6 S's and an A, so it's going to be right up there behind The Matrix. Yeah. Pretty high praise for Twister. Great poster, by the way. I just like the color scheme of that poster. It's a very
the color. That poster is amazing. I want to get that poster and I want to put it right here.
Hell yeah!
Like, I had the Digimon picture up right now because it's the 25th anniversary of Digimon. But if I ever get a Twister poster, it's going right there, hands down.
Yeah.
So
it would be cool if they made like a holographic version, so like the like Twister would like kind of move or something. That'd be kind of cool. But
Yeah,
but
I think I had a VHS tape with a holographic cover. I'm pretty sure
There was a holographic cover.
Oh, nice.
VHS.
Yes, I did.
That's cool.
I had it. I had that and the Independence Day one where we turned
Yep.
it.
Yeah,
it was
that-
the White House.
yeah,
we
I
turned
had
it
that.
the fire White House.
Because
Yes.
they both came out about the same time. Both the holographic covers
Yeah,
came out about the
bring
same
back
time.
holographic covers for Blu-rays and shit. We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
that.
right.
Those are cool
Those
as
are
fuck.
cool,
At
but-
least the slip covers. But anyways, Chris, if you got to go, we'll let you plug
Yeah.
whatever you want to plug, man.
So
Anyway,
yeah, I do have to go, being it's 11 o'clock my time.
I got you.
But I also want to say one other thing here real quick. My number one movie out of this entire list, which I didn't get to, and unfortunately nobody picked yet, Armageddon.
It might come up later. It might come up later.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
come on.
It's also my second favorite Michael Bay film. My number one is Con Air. Or not Con Air. Not Con Air. The Rock. Sorry, I also got Con Air on my screen.
Con Air might come up too.
But Con Air is a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my plug's really simple. Just look for me at Hotel Nerd. Every social media platform, Discord. Just look for Hotel Nerd. You'll
All
find me. So,
All right.
Fair enough, man.
That's super simple.
Yeah, sounds
But
good. All right.
But yeah, thanks for having me on. Sorry I couldn't stay again for a full
you're good,
video.
man. Thank
I
you.
wasn't planning on it going this long, but she needs
It's all
her rest too. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
No, I got you, man.
yeah.
All right,
what?
all right, man. Thanks for coming on. I
it'll-
appreciate it.
Yep, it'll be easier for me to get on the next time. I promise.
That's all good.
Okay,
Man.
cool, cool.
Have a good night, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
me
Yeah.
too.
But
All right.
we'll go back down to Richie.
Go back to
You were up
Richie.
next.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Richie.
cool. Everybody pays.
All right.
But I mean, we've been bringing up underrated movies. I might bring up one underrated one, and movie that I think I got unfairly panned that I watched again recently. I think maybe Austin will bring up eventually, but I'll bring it up. I'm gonna bring up U.S. Marshals.
Oh, okay. It's a different one that I was thinking about.
I'm not gonna put an S tier because I don't think it's S. I'll put it, but I think it's an A. I just think it's a really good sequel to The Fugitive. I think I love this team. I think this is when Robert Downey Jr. is in it, and he's pretty good. It's sort of in the midst of his sort of he doesn't kind of exude the movie star quality as he would later on because he's kind of doing all the supporting roles because it's in the midst of his sort of his drug issues. But he's really good at it, and I really like this film. And I think Tommy Lee Jones is great in it, and even the opening scene where he's they're chasing that dude dressed as a chicken suit, and then they go into the guy's apartment, and he's watching WCW Nitro. Yeah.
Well, and by the way, that guy Richie is Donald Gibb, who's the guy from Bloodsport and Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over.
I just think it's for some reason, maybe people were just comparing it to The Fugitive too much, which obviously is a better movie, but I just think it got it got panned as this not great movie, which I don't understand because I think it is decent. So I'll go. I'll go. Yeah, U.S. Marshals. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, Marie.
I have not seen this movie.
Richie, this is gonna be rank 'em all over again. You watch.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see. Papa West.
yeah.
Let's make it rank them all over again. I also have not seen it.
Okay.
This will be one of those things because Richie knows I've seen it because we both tried to push it on that Rankum episode of spin-off movies. Because I like U.S. Marshals a lot too. I pushed for it. Obviously it's not The Fugitive. The Fugitive is one of those S level great movies as we had it in our S tier for the early '90s. I do agree. I think U.S. Marshals is a really strong A tier. It does a lot of the kind of the same beats, but with a different flair because Wesley Snipes is more of an actual action guy. He kind of does some hand-to-hand stuff in the air. Got a great plane crash sequence that doesn't get talked about enough. For being one of the great plane crash sequences of the '90s, really, really good. And some other good action sequences. The sequence of the swamp is interesting and fun. There's a good graveyard shootout. There's a good sequence where they run around an apartment building. That's pretty good. Really, really good stuff. I would give it a strong A. I think it's really underrated.
And I have seen it, and U.S. Marshals is great. I really like it a lot, and it's kind of back in the like when Wesley Snipes was in his heyday, kind of doing his thing, when he was on that a legit action star, and so that was fun, just kind of seeing him going up against Tommy Lee Jones, and I guess Joey Pants is in this movie too. I don't remember him, but I guess
he's one of the crew. He's one of Tommy Lee Jones' crew. He's also in The Fugitive. Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't remember a ton about it. Like the main thing I just remember is like some warehouse scenes where he's like running through some warehouses and stuff. But I remember having a fun time. I mean, it's probably a step down from The Fugitive for me, but it's still really good. So for that, I can't quite give it an S, but I'll give it an A. I think A on the right where it is. That's about a perfect spot for it. So,
Steven, were you the ones in Rankin who hadn't seen it? Hadn't gotten around to it yet?
I was not on that episode of Rankin.
Oh, I could have sworn you were. My bad.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's Tommy Lee Jones's best performance, but I think Sam Gerard is my favorite character that he's played. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame the movie didn't do better at the box office so that he could have continued on playing this character, because they could have made this a really cool long-running franchise or even a TV show if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. So, you don't get a lot of great foot chases in movies, but this one does have one. And so, I think it's a solid A tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'll sit right there in A tier. Yeah, with all the A's. Yeah, good. There you go.
Pretty unanimous for the A's, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll go to Marie. What do you want to talk about?
Marie. Yeah.
Okay, so the one I'm picking this time might be one. Okay, it's either going to be super lower rated by y'all, or you haven't seen it. So,
Sure.
but I adore this movie. It is Volcano.
Hey,
actually,
you're in luck. You are.
You're in luck.
You came to the right place.
These are the right people in there.
These are the right people. Trust me. Speaking of Tommy Lee Jones, playing basically the same character.
Y'all said Tommy Lee Jones. I was like, well, I'm gonna pick this movie anyway. But yeah, I adore this movie so much. I actually use it to teach science, and I like show clips of it, and we do a disaster preparedness game, and it's just like emergency reaction kind of stuff, and it's so much fun. The kids, it's so funny. They're like, can we watch the rest of it? And I'm like, no, we cannot watch this whole movie because it is not appropriate to watch the whole movie. So we're just going to watch clips. But they love it, and I love it. And it's on the edge of your seat the whole time. But I love that there's the daughter. Like, that's sweet. He's trying to protect his daughter. And then again, there's science. There's the scientists that go down and try to figure out what's going on, and I just love it. So definitely S tier.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Papa West.
Papa West, yeah.
Marie, next time just tell your kids, whenever you're a senior in high school and you take advanced placement in environmental science, then maybe that teacher will say it is appropriate, because that is what my teacher did. Mrs. Short in biology freshman year and AP environmental science senior year. Rest in peace. Great teacher. She showed me this movie along with my fellow classmates. Not all of the seniors. There were a couple juniors and one sophomore. But I definitely enjoyed parts of it, mainly because I was watching a movie in class. But it never really stuck with me like most movies do. So I can't give it as much praise as you do. I'm sorry, but I can give it some praise. It was fun. I got to spend a couple classes watching a movie. So for that, it deserves a B.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Man, I'm on the fence because Jordan and Richie both know how much I love Volcano, like to pieces.
Yep.
It was on my when we did a tournament fights versus. We all put together a list of our 12 or 13 guilty pleasure, like favorite guilty pleasure movies, and this was like right near the top of my list. Like I've watched this movie. I can't tell you how many times, 100 times maybe. You know, like not quite as many as Twister, but like it's near there. I watched this movie a lot. I love it to pieces. But I will fully say I think things like Twister are a better quality movie, like better directed. I think Jan de Bont like is a better director than Mick Jackson. You know, as far as like just sort of the way he handles some of the stuff. I do think Tommy Lee Jones is essentially just playing Sam Gerard, just in a different situation, because there's that scene where he's just like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a horseshoe. You know, you over there, I need this over here. You know, he's doing the same exact like character, just as a different named character. So for that, it's kind of a ripoff of like The Fugitive. But like, don't get me wrong, I love this movie to pieces. I'm going to go A tier, but if we were talking about our greatest guilty pleasure movies of all time, I would put it as like number one S tier with a bullet, if that's fair. I hope that makes sense. I can't really put it on there as like I've got other movies on this list that I think are all-time like action films. So I'll go A tier, but don't get me wrong. I love Volcano as much as you do. Like these other guys will tell you that. I've talked about Volcano to death on some of these things. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Volcano is a fun time. I really, really like this movie, and I kind of forget that like certain people are in the movie, like Don Cheadle, he shows up in it, and then Keith David has to play the stereotypical kind of like black police chief in his 50s or something that they have in so many movies, you know. But he's good though, like he's really good at it, and yeah, like it's fun, like how they use the like fire trucks to kind of block and the lava and stuff. It's kind of, I mean, it's a little out there with a few things, but it's still fun. And probably like if I were to pick a perfect rating for it, I'd put all the movies in S tier above it, but then I'd put all the movies that are currently in the A tier below it. And so I put it.
I would put this at the top of the A tier right now.
Top,
it would be an honorable mention for it, like at least.
It's debatable about Mortal Kombat. Like I really like Mortal Kombat, but even still, I'll put it at the top of A. So I'll say A. But
all right,
Steven?
So as far as the Twister comparison, Twister is obviously the more believable movie.
Yeah. Just by a hair.
But I actually enjoy watching Volcano a little bit more than Twister. I've probably seen Volcano more times than Twister. I mean, I've seen Twister a few times, but I've probably seen Volcano a little bit more. And I don't care if Tommy Lee Jones is essentially playing Sam Gerard. I still think he's awesome in this. And
those are fighting words. Yeah.
I go Volcano over Dante's Peak personally.
Yeah.
I like Dante's Peak, but I think Volcano is more fun.
Yeah.
You let you cannot have an opinion anymore.
You're still watching, so
that's all right. We appreciate you. Thank you for at least watching. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Chris.
Great supporting cast. Yeah, I mean, you guys already mentioned Don Cheadle and Keith David, but Anne Heche and John Carroll Lynch and
John Corbett shows up for like a minute in this movie.
Yeah, I think he plays Anne Heche's boyfriend, right?
No, it's the other lady. Was it the other lady that's in the movie?
Oh, yeah,
the nurse's boyfriend, and he
Gabby
owns the building that gets demolished.
Yeah. And he wants her to leave, but
she would. Yeah, she's trying to help people. He's being the dick. Like, you don't know these people. Get out of here. Whatever. Yeah. John Carroll Lynch has one of the best on-screen deaths in history in this movie. Oh, the death where he gets melted by the thing after he tosses it. Oh, it's the greatest.
That is yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is Jacob West. He's watching too, right? And he's on the show. Yeah.
I would give Volcano a solid A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Richie?
Yeah. I'm still here. I'm just I think Volcano's a lot of fun. I think I did like a back-to-back thing with that and what's the name? I like Dante's Peak once because it was just so similar. Sort of like how Armageddon and Deep Impact. I just watched them back to back.
Yeah.
but yeah, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, as a pure action movie, I don't know if I could go S, but if we're going on movies that have endless enjoyment, like it'd be S for sure. But like as an action movie, I'd go A as well. I think it's a really solid movie though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's going to be probably at the top of A right now, so
Yeah,
it might have a chance to
I
be
think
an
so.
honorable mention, Ray. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
If you came to the right spot for
No, I
Volcano.
love Volcano. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's great. Hey, if we were doing like disaster movies here, Anchor, S tier all the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If it was like specifically, I try to tailor some of my picks to like the theme of the show a little bit more. That's just me personally, but yeah. But yeah, if we were doing disaster, yeah, no question. All right, so Papa West, what's your next pick, sir?
Jordan, scroll down to the eyes, please.
Okay.
Go ahead and stop right there. So there's one that's a spaceship. It looks like a laser beam coming down. Really more looks like fire.
Right there.
Independence Day. This is S tier movie. Aliens come to Earth to do one thing, and that is kill. They want to take our resources, but we said no. We sent Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum to send a virus through an Apple computer, which is funny because Apple computers notoriously bad at getting viruses, so somehow they can spread them. But that being said, one of the best punchlines in a movie, welcome to Earth, and then Will Smith punches an alien. And then one of the best speeches when Bill Pullman is speaking to everybody. Today, we all celebrate our independence. Independence Day, S tier movie. If you say otherwise, you are wrong.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see if anyone's wrong. Austin.
Well, again, I can't.
Are wrong.
What? I didn't say anything.
I didn't know you were about to say something.
I was about to say that Independence Day is in my top 64. Are you going to argue with that?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. So I was going to say it's hard to argue against some of these movies that are in my top 64, like Twister, Matrix, Mummy, Independence Day. There's a lot of my top movies are in this late 90s group. Yeah, I mean, Independence Day, it's funny because, yeah, when you go watch it, the first hour of this movie is like the greatest movie you've ever seen. Like the build up to everything is like really well done. It introduces all the characters fantastically. So you kind of know everybody, you know where everybody's story is. It bounces around really well. It's still, I don't think it's even debatable. It's still Roland Emmerich's best movie. Like he's made 25 years worth of other movies, and he hasn't come close to Independence Day. Really good stuff. Another great disaster movie, sort of alien invasion. Great stuff. Yeah, good action sequences with the planes and good stuff on the ground. Yeah, I can't argue with an S tier for Independence Day. It's an epic fucking movie. So yeah. And like we said, I had the VHS cover that had the White House on fire and then off flame. Yeah, like I had that when I was a kid. So good stuff.
Yep, same. I had the same thing. But yeah, Independence Day rocks. Like, yeah, it's in my top 64 too. Like, it's so much fun and yeah, I mean, it's hard to really say a whole lot that hasn't been said. Like it's just a really cool alien invasion movie, and the cast really it brings it. Even some of the like kind of more side characters, even Brent Spiner, like he just plays like a really cool, like eccentric kind of scientist guy. And like I really like the scene where like he's in with the alien and the alien wraps him up and then he's like whispering like whatever the alien is saying.
Creepy fucking scene.
Yeah,
one of the creepiest scenes
really
ever.
creepy.
Really
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course you got to have the scene with Vivica A. Fox where they got to go back for the dog. You know, they always got to save the dog. There's multiple movies on this list that do that, but and then Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum kind of taking out the aliens, but then you have Randy Quaid going up the butthole at the end, up yours, and so yeah, that's fun. And then
I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you have I always forget the name of the guy with like the scratchy voice, like David. Hey, like there's like Judd Hirsch. Is that
No. Judd Hirsch is the Jewish guy.
Yeah.
But no, his boss is the guy from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Harvey Fierstein. That's right.
Yeah. So there's some fun, just like character actors and stuff. And then you have that speech by Bill Pullman which at the time is like a really like kind of like fun, like inspiring speech. It's been played to death, so it kind of maybe doesn't hold up so much, but still like works really well when you first see it. So yeah, I mean it's an easy S tier. So yeah, S tier for Independence Day.
All right, Steven?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is not usually my choice to watch on Independence Day, oddly enough.
Jaws.
U.S. Marshals.
There's another movie that's on this list that
Star
hasn't
Trek
been brought up yet that would be more my choice usually. But
Sure,
Yeah.
but I watched it. I watched it this 4th of July, and I'm glad I did because I enjoyed it a lot more than I remember originally. I mean, if I hadn't watched it, I probably would have gone like B tier because because I've always enjoyed it, but I've never loved it. But rewatching it this year, I enjoyed it quite a bit actually. Although I still wouldn't quite go S tier, but I think it's a high A tier.
Yeah, sounds good.
Richie, still with us?
Yeah. Still around, Richie?
Are you there?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Independence Day is the ultimate blockbuster. It's definitely it's best movie by a mile because I can't even think of any other good movie he did.
I love The Patriot.
I know you like you champion The Patriot. I'm not. I probably need to watch that again. I didn't like it when it first came out.
I think Universal Soldier's
good.
pretty good.
I like it.
Universal Soldier's a lot of fun.
Soldier's pretty. Yeah, Universal Soldier's fine.
Stargate is fun.
It's on this list
Okay.
too. We might bring it up. But like just talking this. Speaking solely on Independence Day, I think it's fantastic. It's one of the movies that made Will Smith a movie star. I think it's just a solid film that still holds up. And yeah, less said about Independence Day Resurgence better. S tier.
Marie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Fantastic movie. Fantastic sequel. I loved the sequel.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Okay, we won't talk about that.
Yes. The one that came out a few years ago.
No.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
You.
It was
No.
so good. And I love Jeff Goldblum's dad. He's so great.
Yeah.
So like
Harvey First.
but the movie
Judd
I
Hurst.
love
yes, Judd Hurst.
My
I
Then
dad.
you
love
get
the speech.
Those two mixed up. But anyways, sorry.
It's all good. I love the speech. I love that we get to see the aliens. I love, the actors in it, and it's just so good. Like I have what I consider the 3 classic 90s movies, and they are this movie, Jurassic Park, and Men in Black. Those are like my 3 classic 90s movies. And so this is one of those. So S tier, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. Well, it's going to be right next to Twister, so it'll get bumped up a little bit.
Yeah,
All
I love
right.
Judd Hirsch in this movie, but they made him annoying in the sequel.
I thought he was hysterical. I loved him.
What is this sequel y'all are talking about?
Yeah.
I couldn't focus. It gave me a fucking migraine in the theater. I almost threw up.
I love how they're on the
Yeah.
school bus and they're like
Yeah.
trying to. It's
And-
great.
I don't actually hate that movie as much as most people.
I'm
but-
glad somebody liked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody did. It wasn't me, but somebody did. Yeah. But Austin.
So I talked a
You wanna
little,
go
and I'm in danger of this pick of getting a haven't seen thing or can't remember it. But I rewatched it recently, and I just wanted at least an opportunity to talk about it. I don't know if anybody would agree with me. But it's an underrated one, kind of similar to Steven's. I want to talk about Cutthroat Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's
All
over on
right.
the left there with the pirate poster.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
So this is another movie
Really
I think
cool
like
poster.
Waterworld that gets a bad rap. I'm not going to go S tier. I'll go A tier. Only because I think if people go back with an open mind and watch this again, like Waterworld, it's a movie that does not get made anymore. Even similar to the Pirates of the Caribbean, there isn't green screen. It's these nutty, crazy, expensive superset movies. There's crazy sequences of these carriages running through these whole towns. Great stunt work. Again, hold these ship battle sequences with like real ships, real cannons. It's nutty stuff. Gina Davis is great. Matthew Modine is surprisingly good as sort of a swashbuckling, almost like an Errol Flynn type character. Frank Langella is awesome as the villain. He's having a blast. He said itself was one of his favorite performances. And again, just really, really kind of high-end stuff. Really good score that doesn't get talked about. Really good sort of pirate kind of score. Again, all this before 8 years before Pirates of the Caribbean. It's worth a rewatch if you haven't gone back to see it. I rewatched it literally last week. I've been sleeping on this movie. We don't get movies like this anymore. We just don't. And I think if you were to go back and people would appreciate it for what we had. Again, we were kind of spoiled in the 90s, and we didn't really know it at the time. And if you go back, I think with fresh eyes, it's a lot of fun. So I just wanted a chance to talk about it. I think it's much better than its reputation. I know it bombed horribly at the box office, but what are you gonna do about that? It's 25 years ago. But yeah, Cutthroat Island, I'll give it an A. I think it's really underrated and underappreciated.
Yeah, and Cutthroat Island, I haven't seen it, but I mean, you're looking at the cast too. Like you kind of forget that that's Matthew Modine in there because like he shows up in Stranger Things and like he looks totally different, but that's like like a 20+ years later. But yeah, I was gonna bring up how much that it bombed. So Cutthroat Island had a budget of $98 million. It made $10 million. So
no, it's actually more like 150. Actually, it ballooned.
Okay,
$150 million and only made 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the most expensive movie of all time at the time. Yes.
Well, Google it showed 98 million, but maybe Google lies sometimes. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, it was a big bomb. But do you remember hearing about all the practical sets and like effects and like all that stuff? So like a lot less CGI. So maybe the world just wasn't really ready for a pirate movie on that scale yet. But I mean, we got Pirates of the Caribbean when they finally were ready for it. But yeah. So. I'll abstain though from voting.
Okay, Steven?
I'm gonna have to abstain because I'm pretty sure I saw it a long time ago, but I don't really remember it. The only thing I remember thinking about it was that some of the stunts were cool, and I remember thinking that Gina Davis actually felt kind of, looked out of place in the movie to me. But again, I need to rewatch it. But I will say this. There is another Rennie Harlan, Gina Davis movie that obviously needs to be brought up soon that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
All right, Richie.
Yeah. I think it sort of comes down to like just because a movie bombed at the box office isn't sometimes like a lot of time it is, but it's not. But sometimes it's not indicative of quality. It just means you could put fault at the how it was marketed or things like that. It's not just because like word of mouth bad reviews stuff that if you're not putting out great promotional material, people aren't interested.
Or it could have been what came out around the time it came out.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at something like Last Action Hero, which bombed just because it came out the week after Jurassic Park, which nobody thought would be a giant movie, and then it bombed. It sometimes depends on when it comes out and what surprise hits are kind of around it.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. Yeah, I do remember like in I probably having that same opinion where I'm like, oh, this movie is I was expecting like trash, and this movie is pretty decent. I haven't watched it in a while. Just because I think I need to rewatch it to kind of get it higher, but I'll go B.
All right.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Marie.
The first time I ever heard of this movie was when I got the list.
Okay.
So I did not know it existed.
Yeah. That's fair. So.
And I have not watched it. I did not get a chance to watch it.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So get enough votes. I'm like trying
Well,
to make
West,
sure that.
I'm not sure. Pop West, have you seen it?
Okay.
Thank you for trying to skip me again, Jordan.
Well, not on
Nice.
purpose.
As far as my Cutthroat watches go, I'm still stuck on Kitchen. Cutthroat Kitchen, fantastic show. Y'all should watch it.
Yeah.
I have not made it to Cutthroat Island yet.
So it didn't even get enough votes. I figured this would
Okay.
happen. 2 votes. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I wanted to at least talk about it. I do recommend it. If people haven't gone back and seen it, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's a lot of fun.
Well, you get another shot.
Yeah.
Well, you want to have
I'll
another
give
pick since you.
All right, I'll make it quick. Con Air, S tier. Put it up there.
Another people calling
Con Air, S tier. Enough said.
Okay. Enough said. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this one's kind
Come
of.
on, you know Con Air's awesome. Come on now. You just said how much you love Nick Cage. This is
Yeah.
a great movie.
I'll give it an S tier. I mean, it'll be a low S tier, but yeah, you're right. Like for Nick Cage alone, because
This ensemble, dude. John
such a huge
Malkovich, Ving
Nick
Rhames,
Well,
Danny
it's an
Trejo, Dave
ensemble movie.
Chappelle, Steve Buscemi.
And I love all those other guys. Yeah, they're all good, but especially Nick Cage is what I'm trying to say. Like he's the main reason why I watch it. But I mean, yeah, Steve, and John Malkovich, probably those two actually. But yeah, like Steve Buscemi and Ving Rhames, all those guys. Yeah, that's a fun time. It's just kind of one of those kind of like shut your brain off and just watch these guys kind of take over this plane and like it gets like really bonkers, like it, in the best way though. And it's a movie that I probably need to go back to more. I've only seen it, I think, twice, so I probably need to watch it more.
Seen
But
this movie 85 times.
yeah, because for some reason I just never got around to sing it. But then about I'd say about 4 years ago, my ex-wife she's like, no, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch this because this movie's freaking awesome and you're gonna find out why. So I was like, all right, sure, and it was. So yeah, I'll say S tier. I mean, it'll go lower for me, but S.
Okay.
Steven?
Look, I love Nicolas Cage, but I don't think this is one of my favorite performances of his.
Yeah.
You know, you go to this movie. You know, this movie works primarily because of the bad guys. I mean, Malkovich is awesome in this, and Steve Buscemi is awesome in this. They're the main reasons to watch this. I enjoy this movie. I don't want to make it sound like I don't like this movie because I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I also think that it sometimes gets too much love. I think this is a perfect,
especially here on this show.
I think this is a perfect B movie. It's not as it's better than another Nicolas Cage movie that gets that I remember got a lot of love on Rankum once. And I'm thinking, man, you guys are way too high on Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that wasn't on our list, right?
That
wasn't on ours. That was
No.
on the old one. Yeah.
They didn't make your guys' list, I don't think.
Those guys
I
are
don't think
nuts.
it's even on there. Yeah.
I remember
No, we
thinking,
had a much better list, a Redux list that was way better.
people were way too high on Gone in
Yes.
60 Seconds. I mean, I don't think Gone in 60 Seconds is bad by any means, but it's definitely not great.
I'd go for the original over the
original's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Con Air is, like I said, it's a perfect B movie. Very enjoyable, but definitely not a great movie either.
Yeah.
Well, Richie, you can tell them why you agree with us that it's great.
Yeah.
This movie's nuts. This movie's fantastic, and also, I mean, you mentioned the performances. John Cusack deserves love too. He's great in this movie. So yes, I think this movie is just it knows what it is, and it's fantastic. Yes, not maybe not the most the greatest Nicolas Cage performance, but also is the greatest performance. You know what I mean? Like it's not like maybe not Oscar worthy, but fuck it, but his performance is captivating. I'll give it that. So yes, S tier. I would have bought this up if you had.
Yeah. Well, Marie, what do you think?
Well, this movie keeps coming up, and I keep, unfortunately, not being interested enough to want to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, this movie's super fun. Please treat yourself. This movie's a blast. It's a great 90s
fine.
blast.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Papa West.
Marie, if you like airplanes, Con Air, great movie to watch. If you like Nick Cage, Con Air, great movie to watch. If you like kind of relatable bad guys who you want to root for, Con Air, great movie to watch.
Yeah.
If you love
Okay, that's interesting. That's
stuffed
interesting.
animal bunny rabbit, Con Air, good movie to watch. Con Air, S tier.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right. 4 S's and a B. It'll hang.
Yeah, it'll hang there.
I
Yeah.
know where it is, but it'll hang. All right. So Jordan, pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we'll do my pick and then we can go to the Hail Mary stuff probably. But
yeah, we'll see how everybody's on time. We might be able to scoot through another regular round, but if we do it quickly, like 20, 30 seconds a pop, we'll see how we'll get. I'll gauge everybody. We'll see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to bring up some that probably won't get brought up on the Hail Mary, but I wanted to give it a shot here, just because this is a very kind of personal pick that I really like. Like I absolutely love this movie. I want to go with Mystery Men. So
yeah.
So this movie,
I would have brought it up in the Hail Mary if I didn't bring it up. So yeah, it would have brought it up.
Nice. Yeah, because Mystery Men is a hell of a lot of fun. Like just this ragtag group of like kind of like wannabe superheroes that like don't really have powers, but they kind of act like they do have powers. I mean, and of course it's led by Ben Stiller as just the guy that gets angry. Like that's his power. Yeah, you have one with a bowling ball with her dead father's skull in it by Janine Garofalo. You have Pee Wee Herman in there being like a farting guy, which for him it'll work. For maybe any other actor, it might get a little like cheesy and stuff. You got a shovel guy. You got just a bunch of. You got a guy that throws forks, and then also shout out Greg Kinnear. He plays a good hero, and then now I'm spacing on his name. The one that plays Casanova Frankenstein, that the bad guy always space on him, but he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, so
Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rush. Yeah, yeah, and I have a lot of fun with this movie. Like it's a movie that I go back to all the time. Like I once mentioned, I'll just mention it briefly that I watched this while I was getting a root canal once to kind of help me forget about the fact I was getting a root canal. I had a TV on the ceiling and I watched it. So, but yeah, so Mystery Men, S tier. So we'll see what you guys think. Steven?
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that story once, and somebody brought it up, and I agreed with them. Why on earth would you want to watch a movie that would make you laugh during a movie?
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I brought it up. Yeah. That was me.
It makes me happy when I'm doing something horrible. Yeah.
I would want to watch like a trippy movie that made me go more into the drugs.
Yeah.
You know? It's like something kind of trippy and weird.
Watch like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or something. Yeah.
It's been a long while since I've seen Mystery Men. I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoy it more as a comedy than I do as an action movie. I don't think I would call it one of the great action movies. So if we're grading it as an action movie, I'd probably go with B.
Yeah, that's fair. Richie?
Literally, even though I love Mystery Men, it's on the same wavelength as Steven. It's almost exactly the same thing I was going to say. Yeah, as a comedy, I'd rate it higher. But as an action movie, I don't remember a lot of action set pieces, so the action is decent. So I'll go B.
Yeah. Well, I can kind of see that like maybe it's not wouldn't be one of the great comedies either, or one of the great action movies, but you combine those together.
It's a nice hybrid.
That's why it's amazing.
It's a nice hybrid. Yeah,
it's a nice hybrid.
Yeah.
So, but Marie.
Yeah, this movie is great. It's funny, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. The only part that I'm like, I don't understand, and I think it's too far, is the watermelon on the feet.
Oh yeah.
I know that's just like 2 seconds, but I'm like, why? I'm so confused. But it's a great movie. So but it's not one that is like my childhood. So I'm gonna put it at A.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, Pop.
This is one of those movies that I have to watch for trivia purposes. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I just looked it up. It's available on Peacock, so I might watch it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, and the director of this movie is like a basically like a one-off director. Like she directed this and like one or two in like weird independent things, and that's it. So it's kind of interesting. But Austin,
yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as Richie and Steven. Like, you know, the difference for me when we're talking about you know, best action movies of the 90s is I can name, you know, the action set pieces from all these movies, you know, right off the top of my head. You know, obviously some of the plane sequences and Independence Day, some of the big shootouts and The Mummy, things like that, the Blood Rave and Blade, some of the San Francisco chase sequence, and some of the stuff in Alcatraz and The Rock, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I can't remember a single action sequence in Mystery Men. I know there's
scene
something
where Ben Stiller gets on top of the limo and he's getting angry and like,
I know. Again, I like Mystery Men. I think it's one of the good, like, underrated sort of superhero sort of movies. But, you know, if we're talking about the great action films of the 90s, I can't put it up there with movies that I love, like Matrix and Con Air and stuff. I'm not going to say not an action movie because I would agree it's a comic book, you know, action comedy kind of hybrid. So yeah, but I'll go B tier as well because I think just as far as that goes, yeah, I can't even put it above like Volcano or U.S. Marshals. I think those have better action set pieces, you know. So go B tier.
Well, what are the votes then? We got
so
my S and then some B's.
SA 3 B's. With that, it goes to like low A, probably under U.S. Marshals down there. Yeah, it's gonna be low A. But yeah, but not dragging out too much. Yeah, not too much.
I'm just glad I didn't end up in like C or D.
Oh no, everybody on here likes it. You know, it's a fun movie. I mean, I definitely think more people should see it. If you haven't seen it, it's a unique, you know, comic book kind of superhero comedy that more people should see for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
do you want to do it?
How's everybody doing on time? Like, how's everybody doing on time? Are we good? Does anybody need to scoot soon?
I'm good. I can do it well.
Marie, Papa?
I have to get up pretty early for work, and it's 10:40 here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a little short on time, but I can stay a little bit longer, obviously. But
okay, I think my only thing, we could do another regular round before the Hail Marys, but we'd have to go quickly. Like, I'm talking like 20 seconds a pop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, if everybody just gives their grade, three, four sentences, a quick paragraph on why, and move to the next person. Like, can't go on super long diatribes, but everybody wants to get one more regular pick, something they want to champion, and then we'll go to the Hail Marys really quick, which is fast. If you guys want to do that, I'm more than willing to do that. So,
sure, yeah.
Okay, so Steven, we'll do some quick picks here.
I will go with. No, I'll go with one that's might not be seen as a traditional action movie because it's a submarine movie, but I absolutely love Crimson Tide.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah,
Crimson Tide. Here you go.
Yeah, I think it's probably Tony Scott's best movie. The submarine action is great. The cast is great. It's super intense. So yeah, it's one of the best movies on here.
Okay.
Yeah. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I like Crimson Tide a lot. I don't know if it's S tier for me. But I would, I would say a solid A.
Yeah. Marie.
So I think I've seen this movie, but I even watched the trailer, and I'm not sure if I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
So if I did, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you want to abstain, basically?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's fine. Papa?
Papa, not a fan of tight spaces, very claustrophobic. Doesn't like submarine. Does not like submarine movies. I've not seen Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
It's a little antsy watching those movies. Yeah. And then Hunt for Red October and Das Boot, U571. No, it's funny. I'm kind of right after Steven. I think this might be Tony Scott's, you know, kind of it might be his best pure movie. Like, because I think all the acting is incredible in this movie, and the score by Hans Zimmer is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the score is great. Really good movie. Another cool poster. That's a really cool poster. I like the color scheme on that one too. Again, I've only seen it probably 4 or 5 times. I should have seen it way more than I've seen it because it's really good every time I watch it. So for that reason, I'll probably put it in A tier just because It's not one of these other movies. Like all these other movies and these things I've seen like dozens of times. I love them. So I'll go A tier, but it's a really strong A. I very much like Crimson Tide.
Yeah. I think Crimson Tide probably would be my favorite submarine movie that's never been made, probably. And it's got a great cast with Denzel Washington, Gene Hackman, Viggo Mortensen, and then James Gandolfini too. So and it's a great score, like you said, Austin, and yeah, it's maybe not one that I go back to a lot. So for that, I'll probably give it an A, I think. So.
I think I listened to the score more than I've watched the movie, Steve. I listen to the score on Spotify a lot. I love the score.
Probably the same for me, actually.
Yeah. I think the score is incredible. It's one of Han's best. Yeah, it's
for me. It's tied with Gladiator as my favorite Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. All right, so still an A or an S and 3A, so it'll still be kind of in those top 3 in the A's, right around there. Around Boondock Saints. Yeah. All right, Richie.
So I was going to bring up Simon Says because I wanted to talk about it, but I'm not going to.
You know what? Just go ahead and throw it in the F tier, and we'll move on.
Just throw it in the F tier, and then
we'll get your real pick.
I'll talk about my other thing.
Go ahead, Jordan, because we need something in the F tier, and that's probably because even Steel has its enjoyable moments.
No, Steel is still F. Steel
sucks, but I give it a D because it's kind of crazy to just watch Shaq Hulk around in that stupid outfit.
What else? That should be this year.
I like Speed 2 actually. I'm a Speed 2 defender along with.
Okay, fair enough. But
like Simon said, and then maybe Barbed Wire for an F. That's another one. Yeah.
That trailer looks like so much fun, though.
The trailer
seems like it'd be fun, and then you watch it and it's boring. Oddly enough,
gotcha.
It's very strange. You wouldn't think it would be, and it is.
Johnny Mnemonic is also an F.
Oh yeah, another one. Yeah.
No.
It's got a new black. We talked about this recently. It's got a new black and white Blu-ray coming out with Johnny Mnemonic. A black and white.
Weird.
It's very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyways, Richie, what's your actual pick, Richie? Yeah. I got you.
Okay, I'll be quick. I'm gonna rip his face off. Face off. I love Nicolas Cage. The other Nicolas Cage movie that needs to be on there. This movie's fucking great. Just
there you go.
Like Nicolas Cage and John Travolta both known for very outrageous performances, and they turn up to 11 here. It's amazing. I absolutely love this film, and it should be it should be S tier.
Yeah.
I think it is the strangest concept, and when it came up as one of the movies, it was one of those that I just wasn't. It didn't appeal to me, so I have not seen it.
Okay. Well, Papa West.
This is where I started hating John Travolta. I have to go with the B.
Okay. B. All right, Austin.
I'm gonna go A, Richie, but it's only because I like Con Air and The Rock more than Face Off. Because the only thing for Face Off that kills it is I think it's like 20 minutes too long. It really drags like to the third act. Like when we're getting to like the boat chases at the end, I'm just like I just kind of want the movie to end. I know, but it by then you're like 2.5 hours in the movie, and I'm like, okay, can we just fucking wrap it up already? Like this is going on way too long. It's very John Woo-y. Like it's very a lot of his tropes. I'll go A, but because I do like Face Off, but out of those 3 that are literally right next to each other right there, all the Nick Cage movies, this is the least for me. So I'll say A.
This one's kind of like borderline S and an A for me, but you know what? Like I love me some crazy Nick Cage. Like the crazier the better. Like almost to the point where like I almost, I'm not gonna say 100%, but I almost don't care if Nick Cage movies are even good. I just like when he just being the crazier the better, and like bring it on. So yeah, for that reason, I'm just gonna say S tier. Yeah, Face Off is freaking like peak crazy Nick Cage. So yeah, let's go.
Okay.
S tier.
All right, Steven. They come down to Steven. We'll see what happens.
To reply to Hotel Nerd's comment, Battlefield Earth is bad, but Old Dogs is even worse.
Yeah.
So, Face Off. It's really neck and neck for me for Face Off and The Rock. I give The Rock the slight edge, but I really love Face Off too, so it's definitely an S tier for me as well.
Okay, so it's interesting. Yeah. We got 3 S's, an A, and a B. All the other ones we've got 4 S's, kind of makes it. So I don't know. It's skirting that border. If we get more that have 4 S's, it's going to get bumped. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. It's skirting the border right now, so it's hanging by a
there
thread.
For now, maybe, but
it's hanging by one small thread. If anything gets more, it's going to get bumped. So we'll see.
All right.
Okay. So we'll go to Marie.
Okay. So I just recently saw this one, and the fact that it has a 21% rating on Rotten Tomatoes just simply baffles me. But Mercury Rising.
Ooh, okay.
Like do y'all know if the boy, the actor, was autistic?
No.
He wasn't?
Nope.
What, Miko Hughes?
That acting is incredible. Like, that was on point, and the movie had heart. It had an interesting, crazy storyline. Bruce Willis was awesome. Like, oh my God, I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Papa West.
Have not seen it.
Yeah, that's right. Austin.
So I've seen like 95% of the movies on this list. Mercury Rising is not one of them. It's one of my few blind spots in action movies. Like, I've never actually sat down and watched Mercury Rising. Oddly enough, I think I have it on like a multi Bruce Willis like 4-movie set or something over my massive collection. I've just never cracked it open. So it's like that and The Jackal, like those 2 movies he did that year. I've just never sat down and watched. So yeah, I'm sorry, Maria, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I also haven't seen it, and like it's just, I don't know, like hasn't really been one that's even been on my radar. If you say the stuff about the autistic stuff, a quick 2-second thing about me, I've been told I'm a little bit on the autistic scale, so I can relate to some of those things. But so that kind of intrigues me, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say anything else about it. So,
Steven.
Okay, I like Mercury Rising, but this is one incredibly silly premise. I mean, you have this government top secret code that these guys put in a puzzle for kids, thinking that no kids, I guess, would ever solve it. So I think it was Roger Ebert who said in his review, okay, don't kill the kid, kill the government agents that did that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but
if you want to spoil the movie,
yeah.
But I like the movie. I like the relationship between Bruce Willis and Miko Hughes, and it's. I don't think it's a great movie though. I don't think it's as an action movie. It's more of a that relationship between the 2 lead characters than, because as an action movie, it's got okay action in it. It's not like bad or anything, but it's not like, especially compared to some of Bruce Willis's other movies, it's not like, top tier action scenes. So I liked it. I would give it a B.
Yeah.
Richie?
That's fair. Comes down to you if you've seen it or not. Richie.
Yeah, I have actually. It reminds me of like the Predator, where autism is used as a weapon.
Yeah.
When I think of like the Bruce Willis filmography, I forget about this movie sometimes, but I have seen it. It's a decent movie. It's like there's nothing inoffensive about it. It's really wacky, but it's like there's nothing like it won't like stick out in your mind where it's like, oh, this is one of the Bruce Willis's best. It's a good movie, so I can't go S tier. I probably have to go B.
All right, we'll go to S and 2 Bs.
S and 2 Bs. So yeah, kind of around U.S. Marshals area. Yeah, somewhere around there.
But this movie, it just seems kind of hard to find. So I kind of feel like the only way you're gonna get it is that 4-pack Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I have
movie
like
talking about-
Marie. I have over 2,000 movies over there. I know I've got it over there somewhere, like in one
I
of
feel
those
like
wonky packs.
Yeah.
I watched it not that long ago. I think it was like on Stars or something.
I watched it on. I accidentally
Listen.
ended up with a Stars subscription on Amazon Prime, so
Okay.
that's how I watched it.
Nice.
All
Well, it barely makes it on. So yeah,
Top list.
I guess Papa was. Yeah.
All right, Jordan, get down to the R's, please.
All right.
Looking at this list, we have some great
we got
action
the-
movies, but we need a true action comedy.
Yes.
Jordan, apparently you did all right with Mystery Men, but that is not the action comedy we need.
Right
Your
here,
finger was on it. Your fingers, there it is. We need the classic Chris Tucker, Jackie Lee. Do you understand the words that coming out of my mouth? Ain't nobody understand the words that come out of your mouth. Rush Hour. S
You stole my
tier.
pick, but that's fine because now I get to pick another one.
Thank you for messaging me your pick.
Yeah.
You see, it's hilarious. You should do it sometime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Austin.
So I think Rush Hour is a better comedy than an actual action film because I think the actual action in it is kind of mediocre at best. Like when you go back and actually sit down and watch it, some of the Jackie Chan stuff, he's got better movies in the 90s. He did way better action in this. I mean, there's like the one sequence where he's kind of fighting the guys in the house, and then he's kind of doing a little bit of parkour, but he's not really doing like a lot. There's some very brief chase sequences. There's not a lot of great like shootouts. Like it's okay, like action wise. I think it's a much better comedy. I like it more as a buddy comedy. I think it's very, very good. But yeah, as an action film, yeah, it's like B, A tier. I'll be generous and give it an A, but I can't put it in S tier for the action. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good action movie. Like it's got the whole like detective kind of thing going on, and like that. I don't know. Like I think that when Jackie Chan is actually doing his thing, like he's doing like his like usual kind of cool stunts and all that stuff. So I mean, when he does it though, that's the thing. But yeah, maybe there's only a couple of those scenes. But
I don't think there's like a standout action scene in that movie. Honestly, like a really standout great action scene in Rush Hour.
The end fight-off scene, or where they're kind of infiltrating, where they have the little girl kidnapped. I would say that's an action scene. That is amazing shootout.
The one main fight where they're kind of starting to work together, like in the Chinese restaurant, is like probably the best fight scene in the movie. But even then, it's only about a minute and a half long. It's not very long. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. You know, you can vote against me. I understand.
yeah, well,
Already voted.
well, I mean, they have the thing where the captain told them you destroyed half a city block. He's like, that block was already messed up. Come on. Yeah, but
Again, the comedy.
yeah, I mean, I would say S. Yeah. But I would say S tier. I mean, I feel like we should maybe get an action comedy on there. So Rush Hour is one of the best. So yeah,
The Mummy.
I'll say S. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say that too. But Steven?
So is it the first one or is it the second one where he's constantly trying to save these priceless artifacts from
That's the first
falling?
one. That's the
It
first.
is?
Yeah.
That's kind of a classic Jackie Chan thing. It's probably one of the better things.
Yeah.
When he's fighting and trying to hold the. Actually, but that was added when they were filming the
Probably
movie. That was actually not even in the script. He thought they needed a few more of those Jackie Chan side moments, so they built this action sequence around like the vase or whatever, like him trying to hold it up. Yeah.
But that being said,
Yeah.
I enjoy the Rush Hour movies a lot, but even though it's not 90s, it's 2000s, but I actually prefer the Shanghai movies. But I enjoy it. I would put it in the B tier.
Richie?
I enjoyed it a bit more. I think when you think of action, especially 90s, you got to have Jackie Chan on this list. But yeah, so and Mr. Nice Guy is not a good movie at all. I could have brought that up as a negative one. But yeah, Rush Hour is great. I have a lot of fun with it. I prefer Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 2 is my favorite. I think it's got better action set pieces and the chemistry is kind of more on point. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even though the third one wasn't good, I wouldn't mind a fourth one. But I feel like if we were going to get a fourth one, we would have had it by now. So, but yeah, Rush Hour, I'd give it an A.
All right, Marie.
Yeah, I saw this in theaters with friends, family friends from Sweden, and we all had a great time. It was funny, it was fun, so I'm gonna give it an A though.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the votes?
Okay, so it's 2 S's, 3 A's, and a B. So it's kind of upper mid A.
Yeah.
Probably around Boondock Saints or Crimson Tide. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
So me, man, I feel like there's a lot of other really good S tiers that we haven't.
Yeah,
even
there's
touched.
still. Yeah.
You know what? Just for now, we'll get to some of the other ones. Die Hard with a Vengeance should be on there.
Sure.
It's almost as good as the original, I say, because while it doesn't confine John McClane to
here it is.
it's over on the left. While it doesn't confine John to a particular location, like the other ones, I think they put a nice spin on it with the Jeremy Irons, Simon Says stuff. His chemistry with Sam Jackson as Zeus is awesome. I love the kind of games they have to play. It's got a couple of really good action set pieces. The cab chase sequences around the city. The heist kind of thing that happens in the middle. There's a lot of good stuff in this movie, and I think it's almost as good as the original. And I know some people who like it more than the original, and I feel like it's totally justified. But yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance I think should be in the S tier. It's one of those really great rare sequels and one of those great third sequels, which we don't see a whole lot. So yeah, what they're able to do with this one, they brought back John McTiernan, and he did a great job. So yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah. I'm a big defender of Die Hard with a Vengeance. Like I'm not that big on Die Hard 2, but I love Die Hard 1 and 3. So I mean, I think those two for me are the best ones.
I might have to make an argument in the 2000s for Live Free or Die Hard in the S tier if we're going to be generous for that one.
Yeah,
I think that movie's underrated. But that's just
it is. Yeah. Like I would agree with that. Yeah, but
go Reindeer Games. I'm going to.
I don't know about that one.
Oh boy.
but Die Hard with a Vengeance, though, I like what they do of just kind of taking out John McClane out of an enclosed space, and you just put him on the city block. You put him up with Samuel Jackson, like kind of give him like a bit of a partner, essentially, kind of, and still him trying to stop terrorists, and it's a good time. So yeah, I would say S tier. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Steven?
I love 1 and 2. I like 3 and 4. That's all the Die Hard movies there are.
Yeah, that's all.
So I would give Die Hard with a Vengeance and put it in the A category.
Yeah. You don't like when he goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Russia"? You don't like that one?
That's a great tagline. I have the poster for A Good Day to Die Hard behind me, and I actually love that tagline.
Yeah. But
the poster, of course, is better than the movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. The poster better than the whole movie. Yeah. But Richie?
I love Die Hard with a Vengeance. It would have been on my Hail Mary. I think it's it's on par for me with the first one. It's really good. So it's certainly better than its remake, 12 Rounds with John Cena, which is very much.
Yes, it's definitely a cheap remake. Yes, very much. So.
I mean, I kind of enjoyed that movie, but I can't.
I didn't mind it either, but it's a remake of it. It's
100%.
Yeah. Marie, what do you think?
So love this movie. It was going to be in my Hail Mary if that came up. So I wanted to choose this one at some point, but I absolutely adore it. And the chemistry between Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson is just through the roof. So good.
Yeah.
So S is my
S. Okay.
I got you,
Well,
Papa.
Yeah. Well, Papa West.
Well, it's not Die Hard 2, which is canonically the best Christmas movie.
Yeah, we decided on this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I will say this is my second favorite Die Hard movie. Also shows you can do Die Hard outside of Christmas, so that's always good. S tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got
But higher up on S tier.
Yeah, all right. We got a 5 and 1, so it's right near Independence Day. Yeah.
All right. Right up there, yeah.
All right, Jordan, what's your last official one before we go to the Hail Mary?
Yeah, so I want to bring up one that I'm not sure where it's going to go. I know where one person's going to probably agree with me, but I don't know about the rest of you. So I want to bring up From Dusk Till Dawn. So that movie freaking rocks, and I love it. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Okay. Yeah, so this movie, I just saw it for the very first time last Halloween, and man, I don't know why I was sleeping on this movie. Like this movie is great, and like I'm actually a big fan of Quentin Tarantino when he does acting. Like I know a lot of people don't like him, especially in like Pulp Fiction, maybe. But for me, like I think that he's fun, and he might come up maybe in another movie on this list. But and then also George Clooney and Danny Trejo, and then Harvey Keitel. Like you have a pretty stacked cast, and I like it how like it becomes just like a kind of like a kidnapped, almost like a road trip sort of movie, and then all of a sudden like vampires, boom, they're just there, and then like things just get batshit crazy, and I gotta fight off all these crazy vampires in some pretty crazy and like brutal ways too, and then like even at the beginning, I forget the one actor that gets killed right at the beginning. That's pretty brutal too. But
it's John Hawkes, a young
John Hawkes. That's who it is. Yeah. So it's a great movie that I wish I would have seen a lot sooner. But so I'll say S tier for From Dusk Till Dawn.
All right, Steven.
Man, this is a movie that would have been great to go in completely knowing nothing about it, because the first half of this movie it's something completely different than what it ends up turning into.
Yeah.
But if you've seen the trailer, then you know it turns into a vampire movie. But because the first half is basically a crime thriller, and George Clooney is pure charisma, while Harvey Keitel brings the gravitas and acting chops. So I can't say S. I can't go that high, but I would give this an A.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
It's not a movie I really initially think when I think of action movies. I consider it more like a horror sort of comedy, but it does have. It's definitely not. I would never put it not an action movie. It's an action.
Yeah.
There's enough there to. Yeah, it's great action, but I wouldn't go S, but I'd go A.
Yeah, sounds good. Marie, what do you think?
I mean, Blade is just so much better if you're talking about vampire movies in my book. So I was obsessed with vampires, but did not watch this one more than once. I'm gonna have to put it at B.
Sure, yeah. Papa West.
I cannot wait for the vampire tier ranker fights. Fun episode.
Yeah.
That being said, very similar to Richie and Steven, it's a good movie. I enjoy asking about it when someone picks Tarantino's strength, because then I just thought, haha, From Dusk Till Dawn. I didn't mean to put that. I meant directed. We should have said directed. It's definitely fun, but it's not a great action movie. So I'd stick it in the A.
Yeah, well, for October, we are doing vampires versus werewolf versus mummy movies, so that'll be an episode coming up. So that'll be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Austin, what do you think?
S tier from Dust to Dawn fucking rules.
Yeah.
Not only one of the best sort of horror movies in the 90s, I think it is one of the best action movies in the 90s. I think the shootouts in this movie are great. I think all the fight sequences that are in the bar, in the Titty Twister are awesome. The fact that they use people like Fred Williamson and Tom Savini in there and let them survive, let them kick ass, I think is really cool. And George Clooney is amazing. I would put this in the S tier of the 90s action.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we got like 2 S's.
It's exactly the same as Rush Hour.
Okay.
So it'll be down there. Actually, I think Rush Hour and From Dusk Till Dawn actually will both be higher than Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints didn't even have that many votes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Yeah.
So the other ones had more actual S tier votes. So yeah. All right.
Well, all right. Well,
before we do this, like Stephen, your nickname on here is "Get Off My Plane." You never fucking brought it up.
Yeah.
Well,
so many movies that I haven't brought up that I absolutely.
He hasn't brought it up yet.
I know, but like, you can't. It's funny. It's funny.
Okay.
Well, we still have a Hail Mary around. We'll see.
So yeah, we're a little late getting to it. So I am gonna put a limit on the amount of movies that we're gonna do, at least for tonight, because they're so late. So I think what's fair, we have 6 people. Everybody can nominate up to 6 movies, if that's fair.
Okay.
So I will limit it at 6. So you probably need to aim for anything you think is legitimately still S tier, not even A. It's like straight S. So I mean, if you really want to go for like an A+, that's fine. But I want your best of the best that's still on the list, essentially.
Pez, I have 8 on my list. Can I do 8?
If I give you 8 and I don't give everybody else 8, that's unfair.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I'll stick with 6, but he can do 8.
I don't care if he does 8.
I'll find 2 to take off.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna say, just in this, the interest of
I'm only saying in the interest of time, I don't need you to name 15 movies.
Yeah.
Because if we have a bunch of crossovers and we're trying to rank 15 more movies, this show's going to take forever. So let's try to limit to 6, 7-ish. Let's just not do 15 movies apiece, okay? All right, just try to limit it to the best of the best.
And also, I will say that in the interest of time, I'm not going to be doing a little scrolling, so I refer to the list in the private chat or the Facebook thing, because I'm going to be formulating my own list while you guys talk.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so I will write them all down. I am looking for crossovers. This is kind of how it works. So if more than one person names the same movie, those are the ones we will go back to and give an official vote for the chart. So obviously, if any of y'all's cross over, or if you hear somebody mention someone that you forgot about, but you also agree and want to swap it out a little bit real quick, do that. So yeah, again. If you want to do 8, fine, but let's not do too many, because we got to get through this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So let's try to stick to mostly S tier if you can. So yeah, Steven will go first. I'll write them down. So just give me a second. Give me about 2 seconds in between each one so I can actually write them down. But otherwise, you can rattle them off. All right.
I'll start with Air Force One.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be something.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Saving Private Ryan.
All right. Go ahead.
The Negotiator.
Okay.
The Mask of Zorro.
Okay.
And The Long Kiss Goodnight.
All right. Long Kiss. Okay. All right. Richie, what do you want to throw out there?
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Okay.
Air Force One.
All right.
Men in Black. Mission Impossible.
All right.
Small Soldiers, believe it or not.
Really? That's no Dante movie? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
GoldenEye. And Armageddon.
Armageddon. Okay.
Oh, I only said 5. I meant to also add Heat.
Hey, no, you're done, Steven. You don't get to add one.
No,
you
he,
can add it.
he did only have 5, so he
Yeah,
can
you're
put Heat
good.
on there. That's fine. He can put Heat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you want 8, you can't say shit, Papa. Shut up.
Yeah. Come on.
Shut your mouth. All right, Marie.
Okay. Money Train,
Oh boy.
Ooh.
All right.
Batman and Robin,
Really?
Wow.
I mean,
can scroll now because I already have my list.
Marie, I just want to clarify: we're doing best '90s movies, not gold.
Yes.
We're not
It
doing.
gets better though.
We're not doing guilty pleasure '90s movies. We're doing best '90s movies.
Well, I think they're exceptional.
Yeah.
The Fifth Element,
Okay.
Men in Black.
Okay.
And did you really think I was going to go the whole episode without saying Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Oh yeah, right.
Okay.
You gotta say of all people. Come on.
Oh,
Like, duh.
Okay. All right. Okay, now Papa, you can complain about everybody else and then rattle off more movies than anybody else.
Well, see, it's great because Men in Black has been said twice, so I can cross that off of my list without saying it.
Okay, fair enough.
All
right.
I am also
to
going to
do it too.
champion The Mask of Zorro,
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan. Small Soldiers was on my list, and I raced it to make 6, but thank you, Richie. And I will also
movie is
say
fun.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
And then the 2 that I have, because that was only 4,
Yep.
Starship Troopers
Okay.
and Blue Streak.
I had Blue Streak. In a
Oh
race.
yeah, Blue Streak. Yeah, that.
I would have
loved that
great
movie.
action comedy.
I would have gone. I would have.
I love that movie, but best action movie in the '90s.
Oh, great.
Okay. All right.
If I had a
Okay.
few more, I would have said Starship Troopers as well. But I had to limit.
Even more, Pez.
Well,
Yeah.
it'll get a crossover because I'm also going to say Starship Troopers on my
Yes.
six. So I will also champion GoldenEye. I will also say Air Force One. I will also say Heat. I will also say Armageddon. And I will say Desperado, the other Robert Rodriguez movie, which is great. So, yeah. All right, Jordan.
Well, I'm trying to use some strategy here to try to not name movies that have already been said twice, because then I can have more movies to say.
Oh, good.
But,
Then we can vote on 12 movies in the final round.
Well, Jordan,
Sounds
you
good.
should only pick movies that have been said, because it's pointless to say movies that have not been said.
Yeah, because you're the last. You're the
You're
last
the
pick.
last person. It makes no sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
you'll-
that is true. You have a good point there. Yeah,
You're the
but
last pick, so it's not gonna be.
Yeah,
much
yeah.
fun bringing it up.
I could say movies that have been said once. I mean, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but I haven't been keeping that close of a track, so I'm just gonna go for what I have here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay,
Nope, 6.
I think I only have 7, so I mean that's kind of like less than
One off.
the West, right? But anyways, I'll say Air Force One. I'll say Armageddon. I'll say Batman Forever. No one brought that up, but and I'll say Desperado. I'll say GoldenEye. Mission Impossible. And Rumble in the Bronx, just to give it some love, even though it's not a crossover.
Yeah, I always put Brum in the bro.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all give me about 2 minutes to get all these down on the chart. It's ready for voting.
I'm glad a Bond movie made it to be mentioned.
Yeah.
But
It hasn't made it yet.
what?
Yeah, it hasn't.
No. I mean, like
it'll
in
be
terms
voted
of-
on, yes.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. In
be
terms of
voted
being
on,
voted on, yeah.
Yeah, same.
But I got to admit that as much as I like GoldenEye, there is another Bond movie that I like even more.
Oh, okay.
You like to Die Another Day. It's not even on there. Anyway.
Die
No.
Another Day is not 90s.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I say it's not even on yet.
If the world is not enough, please no.
No, it's not the world. It's
Okay,
not enough.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
we've
Tomorrow
had
Night's
that.
Nice. Tomorrow
That
Yeah.
one's bad.
I mean, Tomorrow Never
The
Dies.
only other one on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies is solid too. Yeah. But I think the world is not enough. Is that the one with Denise Richards
Yes.
pretending to be a scientist and she's horrible?
No, that's that's World's Enough. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My last name is Christmas or something.
Yeah, something for Christmas. It'd be perfect for dating Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
Another movie that I had to, because I had to limit myself. I wasn't able to say my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Sudden Death.
Oh yeah,
I was going to bring up a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie I like as well, but it wouldn't be S tier. I like The Quest. I think it's
The Quest.
It's a worse version of Bloodsport. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
I mean, it's better than Bloodsport's better than that, but I like Quest.
Yeah.
And the Quest has Roger Moore in it.
Yeah, maybe we do need a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in this thing. I don't know. It's too late.
I was going to bring up Alien Resurrection, but it was my 8th movie. So
All right, let's see.
another movie that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, that wasn't brought up, is The Siege. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
We're owning it for.
I like The Negotiator a lot, Steven, but I don't think it would have made S tier, honestly. So I don't know if enough people have seen it even.
But did you say The Phantom, Austin? Like, you better have said that.
No, I
You
didn't
say it? Well,
because that's
like
my
one of your
ultimate.
favorite
Like,
movies.
it's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my guilty pleasures. But even the actual action sequences in that movie are not S tier. No.
Okay.
No, I'm not that dumb.
Okay. That's fair.
Hold on. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even with my limits, we have to vote on 13 movies. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right.
Find a way
Great.
to still do it.
Sounds good. Okay.
We'll go through quick. You just say the letter.
Yeah. Just a letter, please. All right. Essentially. All right. So we'll start with. I'll just go at the top of my list. I was working them all in here. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Around the horn, Steven. We'll just go in the same order each time. We'll just start with Steven.
Yeah.
So.
Hey.
All right. Richie.
D.
Ooh. Ouch. Yeah.
S.
See you, Richie. Just kidding.
Okay.
I want number.
S.
I would also say A.
C.
And I would say S.
I mean, it's got the best lightsaber duel.
Yeah, the best
in all of
lightsaber
Star Wars.
in all of Star Wars. Come on.
And that pod race is incredible.
Yeah, pod race.
Pod race is boring.
Ooh, how dare you.
Wow.
Fighting words.
Yeah. You ever played that pod racer video game? Come
Yeah,
on.
the video game's way better.
Video game's great, yeah.
Yeah. So 2 S's, 2 A's, C, and a D.
Might make the A.
It's
Maybe.
it's like low A.
You can put it a lower if you want.
And down goes Quadraneros. Fine, I'll change my vote to an S.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Quadraneros. Yeah. Yeah. That color commentary is actually pretty fun.
All right. So the next one.
I'll put it up there in low A. Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. So
stop freezing.
yeah.
There you go.
We will go Long Kiss Goodnight, another Rennie Harlan film. Steven.
Long kiss.
I'll go S.
Okay. Richie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go S as well.
Have not seen.
I'm trying to find where. Oh, here it is.
Also have not seen it.
No, that's not it.
Maybe it's at the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
But
Okay. I'll go A.
and I haven't seen it, so I can't vote. So what are the votes?
2 S's and an A. It's another kind of mid A. Yeah. Something like that.
We'll bring it up there.
Yeah. All right. So next will be Stevens, Air Force One. Go for it.
S.
All right. Richie?
Mid A.
Okay, Okay, S.
Okay. Marie?
A.
Papa?
S.
I'll also go S.
Yeah. So I watched it for the first time. I'll say S just because of that ending scene where they're all on like the wire stuff. That's cool.
All right. 5 S's and an A, so it'll make it into the S tier.
Yeah. And
It
the
makes
S tier.
So it'll be up near, like, kind of near, not the Mummy, but above the Mummy, whatever one that is. Die Hard.
Get the hell off my plane.
Yeah, pretty much right next to Die Hard.
Right.
So there you
Die
go.
Hard. Oh, okay, right there.
Yep, right next to Die Hard. Okay. So we will go with SPR is Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan. There we go. Oh, Steven.
Yeah, what was this
I was like, what was that again? Oh, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Same problem.
Definitely S.
Richie.
A.
As crazy as it may sound, I really don't think I've ever seen this movie.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is
Steven
crazy.
Spielberg
This
hole.
is an S.
Yeah.
Okay. A.
And I'll say S.
So 3 S's and 2 A's.
Yeah. I mean that beach battle scene is like top tier action. Come on.
Yeah, but it's like disturbing action. It's like action I don't want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's action, but I don't feel good about it.
Most of
Yeah.
the movie went on
Did you
like
say-
a lot of good movies too. So.
Did you say 3 S's and an A or
3 S's and 2 A's, so it's kind of like
Good.
Face Off, where it's on borderline. It's about to get bumped with all these other S's. So
Yeah,
it's like right next to Face Off, but some of those are going to get the bump down if we get some more S's. So we'll see.
Yeah, all right,
we'll sort
figure it out.
we'll sort that out at the end. Some of those might get bumped down into the top of A and be the honorable mentions. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. GoldenEye, James Bond, Steven.
I'll give.
Bottom left, Jordan. By the way, on the left side.
On the left side.
I'll say A.
Okay, Richie.
Yes.
A.
All right, Papa.
Great video game. I've not watched the movie.
It's Brosnan's
S.
best Bond. It's Brosnan's best Bond movie. S.
Yeah, it's his best Bond movie. S.
3 S's and 2
It's better
A's.
than
The same as what we just did. So you're right up
So
there
yeah,
with,
definitely Face Off is gonna get the bump.
Well, I mean, again, you can put them in now. I will figure out based on the votes what'll get bumped. Like we'll figure that out. Just put it up in there for now. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Okay, so because we might have to vote on some of those. We'll see. All right. So oddly enough, Mask of Zorro, Martin Campbell's movie. Steven.
S.
Mask of Zorro.
Richie.
There.
B. It's just fun movie, but I don't think much of it.
A.
I would go A as well.
Austin.
I've only seen it like once or twice, so I can't go higher than a B.
Yeah, I'm not big on it, so C.
Okay.
So what is it? Does it even make it up there?
It's like
B
either
tier.
top of B or low A. It's one of the two, but is it even worth it to put it up there? It's not even going to be in contention. Or
Well, I'll
anything,
just do it.
you can
just
do it anyways. That's fine. All
For
right.
the graphic.
All right.
That's not
We'll
gonna
do the other Robert Rodriguez movie, Desperado. Steven.
B.
Richie.
Haven't seen it.
Really? Okay. You should see it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Murray.
Have not seen it.
Wow.
Ooh.
Come on. You guys don't watch Sexy Antonio Banderas and his
Yeah.
prime? Come on now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm more of a
Too sexy,
Antonio
too
Banderas
sexy.
kind of guy. I would go A though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd go S. I love Desperado.
And I think I'd go S. It was a movie that I watched right before we went to air here. So yeah.
So 2 S's, an A, and a B. Again, mid A.
The top of A. Or like
Well,
mid-A,
not the
I
top
guess.
of A. We got way more
Okay.
than the top of A. Yeah, but mid A. Again,
All right.
I think some of these A's are going to be obsolete
Right
because
next
some
to
of
From Dusk Till Dawn.
some of the S's are going to. Some of those S's are going to default into the honorable mentions, so some of those aren't even going to make it by default.
Yeah.
But we'll see. All right, we'll go with Michael Mann's Heat. Steven.
S.
Richie.
A.
Have not seen it.
Wow. You should see it.
Also have not seen it.
Wow, y'all
Oh.
should really see Heat.
I'm not going to, but I should.
The best shootout ever put to film. S tier.
Yeah, the bank scene is.
Ever put to film, period.
Yeah, but for me, I kind of feel like it's just like that one scene makes the movie, and there's not a lot to it for me. Yeah, I don't know. A, but that's being generous. So I kind of want to say B, but I'll say A.
All right, 2 S's
So-
and 2 A's.
Two
I
S's
mean,
and
I
two
can
A's,
kind of. If you're seeing this as an action movie, I can kind of understand that.
Yeah. So I don't know, like mid.
I don't know. It's in that jumble of shit.
Okay, sure, why not?
At this
Yeah,
point, at
we'll
this
just
point,
do
it
it.
really doesn't matter because again, I don't think any of those are actually going to be our honorable mentions. Their S tiers are going to get bumped down, so it's in the
She has
jumble.
some good Al Pacino lines. She's got a great ass. Yeah.
Mission Impossible, the first one with Tom Cruise.
Right.
So, Steven.
Believe it or not, it's my least favorite of the Mission Impossible movies. I'd say B.
Okay.
Richie?
I'd say S.
Marie.
S.
Papa West.
I haven't watched any Mission Impossible movies.
Wow.
None. Oh,
Wow.
None of them.
that is crazy. Austin.
I watched it recently. It holds up, but I still go A.
Yeah, and I'd say S for sure. Like, actually, really dig this one.
So 3 S's, an A, and a B. So around face-off territory, something around there.
Yeah,
No?
might be one of the ones on the chopping block with that. Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, it's literally like on the thread with like face-off and stuff. So
it'd be like right there.
yeah, face-off, GoldenEye, all those. Okay, so oddly enough, I don't know why Joe Dante's Small Soldier. I can't believe you guys are fucking serious with this one.
It's fun. I don't know. Tommy Lee
okay.
Jones.
I enjoy the movie a lot, but as an action movie,
It's action between
C?
toys.
C.
Yeah, Richie.
I mean, when
I didn't expect to talk about this movie. I just looked at guilty pleasure. I'll say A though.
when the toys bring out those flamethrowers and shit, man, that's a fun time. Come on.
Yes.
I have not seen this movie.
You're Marie. Listen to me. You're fine. You're fine. and this is coming from a massive Joe Dante fan. You're fine.
It's
That's
a funny
fine.
movie.
Marie,
I think
this
it's-
movie
I think
brings
it's
me
so
so
fun.
much happiness. I think you should watch it. I'm gonna say S tier, just to piss off Pez.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't gonna fucking matter because it's a C movie at best. At best, it's a fun little like
At
midnight
best,
watch,
no.
but like, come on, man, like, let's
I love
be
this
serious. Come on, C.
Well, I grew up with Small Soldiers. I didn't even nominate it, but I'll still give it an A. Sure.
All right, it's got
I mean,
Look at that.
S, 2 A's, and 2 C's.
I mean, I
It's,
want to make it clear. I don't think it's
Middle
a
A
C
tier.
movie. I think it's
No.
a C action movie at best.
Small
Yeah.
Soldiers. I don't even know. Oh,
I-
Right in the middle. Small
I'll put it at the
Soldiers.
bottom of A. It probably goes at the bottom.
But as a movie, if I was rating it as a movie, it would be like either a B or A.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put it right there at the bottom. So.
It's the movie that killed Joe Dante's career. Come on now.
Yeah.
The movie ended his fucking career, like, full stop. Anyways,
Yeah,
all right. Anyways, we're talking too much about Small Soldiers. Michael Bay's other film, Armageddon. Steven.
This one's a little tough. I'll go S because I do love it, and it does have great action.
Richie.
S.
Sorry.
I'm struggling. Deep Impact was so much better.
Disagree. That movie's boring.
I loved Deep Impact.
Kick her out.
It's good,
Um,
but better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go B.
Ooh. All right. Papa
Yeah.
West.
So, because of things Chris did earlier in this video, I've been holding on to something, and I've been waiting, and it is time to release my spite vote. Armageddon F.
Oh, really?
What for?
Spite vote.
But that doesn't make sense because Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck and they did all of this.
Billy Bob Thornton. All that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of the best ensembles ever put together.
Yeah, they did a lot of
Great.
stuff.
Steve Buscemi. All those
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Hey, I said what I said. It's a spite vote.
Michael Clark Duncan. All right.
Jordan, why aren't you going to get mad at him because he's not taking it seriously?
Well, I should, but
If Mortal Kombat is not a
I'm kind of
best
over
movie,
that.
Armageddon does not belong anywhere near this list. Spite vote. I don't care.
The spite votes are for tournament fights, not tournament fights.
I'm using it here.
That's fine. I mean,
I can use
vote
it here.
however you
I've done
want.
it before.
Yeah. Now, if he does it like 3 more times, then I could be pissed off. But
To do it 2 more times. Okay.
All right.
Armageddon is fucking S tier. It's my favorite Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, it's S tier.
Yeah.
So why don't we just like phase out his F and just everyone else says S?
You can't do that.
Your vote is invalid.
Well, actually, we kind of can't. We've done it before. We've had at least 4 or 5 S tier votes and 1 F, and it still makes it because the 4 or 5 kind of cancel out the F. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where it ends.
Especially since your vote isn't even a serious one. To be all honest, you're just doing.
Yeah.
Marie also voted a B.
Yeah.
That should take some consideration into it not being in the S tier.
Well, it's on the chopping block. We may vote. It's on the chopping block. It's we'll see.
Will we leave it here or does it go any higher?
The other ones have 3, but they've got overall more positive overall. It's on the chopping block, but it'll be where it's at for now. We'll vote on some of those.
All right. Do you have any more?
All right. Yeah, 2 more. So we got to get through it. MIB, Men in Black. Steven.
Ooh. MIB.
As an action movie, B.
Richie.
A.
Marie.
Totally S.
Yeah, let's go.
Papa.
Totally S.
Okay. Austin.
As an action movie, it's totally A.
I'm gonna say totally S. It's freaking great. I mean, the noisy cricket. Come on, the midget cricket. Yeah, where does that put it?
3, 2, and 1. Pretty much again the same as Face Off.
All right. It's gonna be interesting then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some voting on this one.
Yeah.
All right, Starship Troopers. That's the last one, Steven.
Just to make it even more interesting, I'll say S.
Yeah. Richie?
You know, I'll say that too because I forgot to bring it up. So S.
Marie?
I'm gonna have to. I'm thinking B.
Yeah. Papa West?
Ow.
Filmed in Wyoming automatically makes it an S.
Ooh, okay. Austin?
Marie, you know why it's an S? Because it's the best B movie of the 90s. S.
Okay.
Because it's like the best schlocky action movie of the 90s.
Gotcha.
And the action's actually well done in the movie. The action is very good.
Mm.
So, yeah.
And I'm gonna have to say that I haven't seen this movie, so I can't vote.
What?
No.
You haven't seen
Sorry.
Starship Troopers?
You haven't seen Starship Troopers?
No.
When you guys hang out, you need to you need to.
We're watching Starship Troopers in 4K, which is what I have it on.
Well, if I could name at least one actor from the movie, I can't.
Neil
really
Patrick
know.
Harris.
Okay, there you go.
Clancy Brown. Michael Ironside.
Cass Vendy. Yeah.
Denise Richards. Dina Meyer.
I'd see it for Clancy Brown, maybe. That's about maybe the only one. Or Neil Patrick Harris, maybe those two.
Michael Ironside's awesome. Anyway,
But where does it go?
4 S's and a B. Still, again, one of the low S's. It's in there.
Probably higher than Face Off and all that, like
It's the same as Con Air. It's the exact same as Con Air. 4 S's and a B.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll do that then.
Okay.
All right. So that's it.
All right. So okay. So here's where we're at. I'm gonna count the ones
6 of
that
these
have.
movies gotta go.
Okay. So I think the movies that are safe are. Let me see.
Matrix.
Well, yeah, The Matrix is safe. Twister, Independence Day, Die Hard, and Air Force One are all safe because they all had like 5 and 1. They all had like overwhelming S's pretty much. So those 5 up there in that first row are safe. Where they are.
No clean sweeps for S's, huh?
Matrix was the one clean sweep.
Okay.
Matrix was literally the one clean sweep, so that guarantees it's number 1.
Yeah.
It was the one clean sweep. So yes. So yeah, there's no debate there. We can talk about the other ones. Let's see. The Mummy, Blade, The Rock, and Con Air, and Starship Troopers all had about the same. They were all like 4 S's and maybe like an A and a B. So they were all pretty much the same. So those are all kind of the same, essentially, in that row. So those might be the ones that hang in there because GoldenEye, Saving Private Ryan. Let's see.
So all the other ones got to get
GoldenEye. Hang on. Don't move me yet. Hang on. GoldenEye 3 and 2. Saving Private Ryan 3 and 2. Men in Black. Hang on. 3 and 2 as well. Face Off was a 3 and 1 and 1. Mission Impossible, let's see. Where is it? Mission Impossible. Where the fuck did I put it? Oh, 3, 1 and 1. And Armageddon was a 4 and 1. So Armageddon is like is kind of the highest of that row, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So just
Armageddon had the F, so that's tough. Okay, so
yeah.
okay, so
No, it
Armageddon's
didn't.
tough.
Only
Well,
had 4 votes. That's all it had.
well,
I've been holding on to that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how we should do this.
I think we already have our top.
We have our 10.
Okay,
so I think it's going to be which of those 6, which 3 will be the honorable mentions, if that makes sense.
I think Armageddon's got to be an honorable mention. I feel like it's got to be
honorable. It's got the most S's out of all of those. I will say that.
Yeah.
So it might be one of them, and then we might have to vote for the other 2 because all the other ones have literally almost the exact same.
Unless Golden, well, actually, GoldenEye, Saving Private Ryan, and Men in Black are all the same, huh?
No, all those are pretty much all the same. The rest of the 5.
You said the other ones only are like 3 and 1 and 1, and the other one are 3 and 2. So
yeah, 3 and so GoldenEye was 3 and 2. Saving Private Ryan was 3 and 2.
Above,
Men in Black was 3, 2 and 1. It just had more votes.
Okay.
And then Face Off had 3, 1, 1, and Mission Impossible had 3, 1, 1.
Okay.
So I think Face Off and Mission Impossible will get bumped down.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Bump those down.
Bump down.
Yeah. And then I think what we will do is Armageddon will make the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And then 2 out of those other 3 will make the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So what we will do is we will go around and vote for which one do you think does not deserve the honorable mention out of GoldenEye, Saving Private Ryan, and Men in Black. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
So you are voted. We will go around the horn. You will vote for which of those 3. Again, GoldenEye, Saving Private Ryan, and Men in Black should not be in the honorable mentions. Does that make sense?
Okay, should not.
That's what should not be. So we will go around the horn. Let me write this down on the top here so I can just tally SPR and MIB. Okay. 007. All kind of 3 little.
Man, it's gonna come down to like personal preference.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
Over which is better.
Hopefully, we don't have a 3-way tie. We'll see, because that would suck. All right, Steven, which one should not be up there?
I mean, looking at this as objectively as possible, the Men in Black just doesn't have the any real major action set pieces, so I got to go with Men in Black.
Okay, fair enough. Richie?
I'd rather watch action set pieces than watch like disturbing action and Saving Private Ryan. So I'm going to go Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
If I haven't seen one of them, what do I do?
I don't know. You just vote for one.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, GoldenEye.
Okay, GoldenEye. That's fine. All right, Papa.
I am also voting for GoldenEye.
Okay. I will vote for Saving Private Ryan, kind of the same reasons as Richie, because it's more war action that I'm not enthusiastic to watch.
Yeah, and I just gotta go for like which one would I? Sort of like the Jacob Barber logic. If you put these 3 in front of me, which one would I want to watch the least? And that would be Saving Private Ryan. So yeah.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan gets the bump.
Yeah,
so that gets bumped down. So we have our top 10 and we have our 3 honorable mentions. Now we can actually sort out the top 10. I'm going
to put them down so we can have our 3.
Yeah, put them down there. So we're not doing that, but those 3 are our honorable mentions.
Now we got to vote for some of the orders.
Okay, so The Matrix is the clear number 1 because it had a clear sweep of 7 votes, all S's. So that is number 1 with the bullet. There is no argument there. So our next ones of like I said, Air Force One had 5 and 1. Die Hard with a Vengeance also, I believe, had 5 and 1. Independence Day had 5 and 1, and Twister also had 6 and 1, but just because we had more people on at the time, but all essentially the same. Out of those, what would everybody vote? We'll go on the horn, vote for number 2. Which should be number 2 out of those, and we'll kind of just go down the line here. So Steven, number 2.
Air Force One.
All right, Richie.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I might be all different. We'll see.
Yeah, Independence Day.
Oh man.
Oh wow, this could be Papa.
We're not all different. Independence Day.
Okay, I'm gonna go Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I would have said Twister. So. So yeah.
Okay, so well, the two that had the most votes are Independence Day and Die Hard with a Vengeance. So scoot those up a little bit, and then we will vote
Okay.
between the two. That's what we're gonna do.
With that. Yeah.
So, and Air Force One and Twister will be 4 and 5.
Okay.
So we will now go back and we'll vote either for number 2 between Die Hard and Independence Day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll go back on our own, Steven. So out of those two, which is number 2?
Independence Day.
Okay, Richie,
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Marie.
Independence Day.
Okay, Papa,
It's tricky, but I'm sticking with Independence Day.
and I'll go Die Hard.
I would say Independence Day.
Okay, so it'll stay exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
Now we will vote between Twister and Air Force One for number 4. Steven.
Air Force One.
All right. Richie,
I'll go Air Force One.
Marie,
Twister.
Papa.
Air Force One.
I'll go Twister.
I would say Twister.
Oh, we have a tie.
So-
I've heard this happen. Is anybody watching?
No, at the moment we don't have anybody
Okay.
watching for like a second. We just did, and it just jumped off.
Well, we may just have to
I think
flip a
someone's
coin or
picking up.
something. Who knows? Anyway, no, not you, Papa. Get out of here.
Other one person watching now who was ever watching, would you vote for Twister or Air
It's
Force
only
One?
Papa's
Put it
fucking running.
in the
but-
It's only
chat.
Papa. It's only him typing his own shit. You know what? I'll give it to Air Force One. You can bump Air Force One. I'm fine. with
Well,
that.
no, I'm not saying you to vote. I'm saying who's ever watching. There's a person watching.
Yeah, you could.
Jordan, it's me.
Oh, do you watch it?
That's what we
Oh,
were trying to say, Jordan. We were trying to say he jumped in and he was about to vote for his own shit.
oh, did you log in on your phone or something? Is that
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then no. I mean, I see your name pop up. Dang, I was gonna say
You can flip flop Air Force One and Twister. I'm fine with that if you want to.
logging on
Yeah,
two
yeah,
devices.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Go ahead. You can flip them. I'm fine with that. I'm cool that Twister made the top 5. That's cool. But yeah.
We're gonna flip. What do you say?
With Air
That
Force One and Twister.
Flipping, yeah, Air Force One.
I was just giving a bone to Steven. Why not?
oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, no big deal.
All right, yeah.
I'm
All
happy
right.
that Twister making top 5 is a pleasant surprise, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I mean, those other ones. Does anybody hardcore want to flip something around on there? I'll just take kind of nominations. Does anybody want to
I
change some
wouldn't.
more?
I think it's.
I
I
would-
think it's good.
I would put The Rock above Blade, honestly.
Yeah.
I
would-
I've never seen Blade, so yeah,
I put
I'm fine
Connery
with
above
that.
Blade, yeah.
I would actually put The Rock ahead of all of them, but at least
I
definitely
would not
Man's
do that.
I would
The
not
Mummy
do
is
that.
I would
great.
still go The Mummy over The Rock.
Yeah,
I'll
still
take
go
that
the
Mummy
Mummy,
and
I
put
think.
Connery
Yeah,
above Blade.
I would put
Okay.
Connery above Blade too.
But we're not
what do you
discussing Blade
think?
2. We're discussing Blade.
What about Marie? I know you really like Blade.
Y'all are
so-
killing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
just throw Blade in C tier. Like, it doesn't matter anymore.
No.
No, I mean, I was happy Blade made it, but I even stated at the beginning, I Blade would have been like my number 9 or 10 slot on the S tier. You know, and
Yeah.
either one of those things.
I mean,
like
y'all
Connery
seem
way
to
more.
love Con Air, so
Yeah,
You could
it's
do
still, hey,
that.
Blade making the
Let's
top 10 out of all these movies is really astonishing and pretty cool, actually.
so
Like the
that
fact that
means-
he made it above some of those is pretty crazy. And I'm fine
Does
with
that mean
Starship Troopers being a schlocky number 10. I'm fine with that. So,
And we get to our action movie championship. All those top 10 will be a part of it.
so
So
Blade will still be a part of the championship.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
it
so
actually will
pop up
make it.
again.
Yes. And all those will. So, yeah. So
that's fair.
think
That's a good-
We've
good-
got it. Yeah, a little
good
longer
mix.
episode, but we had a supersized one. So,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these that didn't even make the honorable mention are still like they have
they're
an
all really
argument
good. There's
to
a lot of
make
really
it.
good. There's a lot of really good movies on there that again
Yeah.
a lot of people would personally put in S tier and personal top 10s.
I know earlier in the live chat, people were saying that Heat better be be
Yeah, they're
on.
saying he.
Yeah, yeah.
And then where is he? It's like the bottom of A down there, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, again, well, some people hadn't seen it too, or things like that. So it's just a bad luck of the draw there.
Well, if we're talking about like a single action scene, then it would make the S, I think. But for an overall, it's just the one.
Or maybe
scene.
even like if we do like a heist movie one, I think it would be near the top of the heist movie stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I mean, it's not just that the ending, between De Niro and Pacino is a great little action scene too.
Stuff. Mm-hmm.
Which I think
there's a lot of great movies. A lot of those A tiers are really great movies.
Yeah.
I would recommend people check out if they watch this. Like really good stuff.
I think we do have a heist episode planned, but we have so much on the schedule, it won't even be till like next year sometime.
Yeah, but if we did that, I think
He'll
should
be
be.
there.
I think he would be in the top 10. It's got some great heist sequences, really good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But-
all right, let's break it down. Well, and we have a nice diverse top 10 because we got a couple of sci-fi movies. Got like an alien movie, a Die Hard sequel, which is fair. Got another Die Hard-ish movie, with Air Force One, Harrison Ford's Die Hard movie, essentially.
A disaster movie.
Yeah, you got a disaster movie. You got a comic book movie in there. You got a couple of wacky Nick Cage movies. You got an action adventure, sort of Indiana Jones, and you got
an alien in space movie.
A schlocky alien space movie. Like fun stuff. So nice mix of things. So,
but you can break it down for it, Austin, since.
So tonight on our Action 95 to 99, at number 1 with a bullet, it's going to be The Matrix from 99. Number 2, we got Roland Emmerich's Independence Day. Number 3, John McTiernan's Die Hard with a Vengeance. Number 4, I believe it's Wolfgang Petersen's Air Force One. I believe I have that right. Number 5, we got Jan de Bont's Twister. Number 6, Stephen Sommers' The Mummy. Number 7, Michael Bay's The Rock. Number 8, Simon West's Con Air. Number 9, Blade. I forget who directed it, but it's Blade. Stephen Norrington. Stephen Norrington. Stephen Norrington for Blade. Number 10, we've got Paul Verhoeven's Starship Troopers. And our honorable mentions for this evening, by default, will be Michael Bay's Armageddon. We've got Martin Campbell's GoldenEye, and it's Steven Soderbergh, or not Soderbergh, Steven. Barry Sonnenfeld. Barry Sonnenfeld. I'm sorry. Barry Sonnenfeld's Men in Black. My
all right, cool.
All right, there you go.
We got it. Yeah, and 2 Michael Bay movies, believe it or not, making it like for like people who trash on Michael Bay so much. We got.
Well, Michael Bay was awesome in the '90s and even well into early 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people I'm not a huge fan of Bad Boys, but a lot of people like his original Bad Boys. You know what I mean? Like But I mean, 90s Michael Bay was pretty good, and then he takes a turn into the new century with Pearl Harbor, and it kind of starts to go to shit.
That's kind of where we declined.
That attack, the Pearl Harbor attack.
Yeah, attack is good.
Is the best directing Michael Bay has ever done.
But the problem is there's 2.5 hours of other shit around that 3 hours.
I
love trying some bullshit.
The bullshit love triangle.
And then you get to Bad Boys 2, which is meh, and then you get to The Island, which I really like, but then it kind of bounces out.
The problem with Bad Boys 2, which is a problem with a lot of his movies, is that it's a good 20 to 30 minutes too long.
It's way more than that. It's like 40 minutes too long. That movie's way too damn long.
It's too long and it's way too stylized too. It's weird.
He's a Judd Apatow of action movies.
Yes, he is. I think he's incapable of making a movie under 2 hours. It's incapable.
Look at all the Transformer movies; they're way too long.
Is it? Yeah. I thought it was over. I'm gonna fact check that.
The first one. The first one.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, anyway, that'll do it. So.
Okay. To be fair, Steven, it's an hour and 59 minutes.
That's why I said
barely. Barely. But and then that's his first movie, so he's only up from there. But all right, anyways.
But that'll do it, and we'll see these top 10 and the 3 honorable mention in a poll in the next couple of days. We still got to get the poll up for our last one, so we'll see a couple polls coming up here. So just watch for it. So and they'll be in the Schmodown Friends and Family group. That's where you can find it.
Yeah, but those top 10 will be in our championship once we get done. We still got to do the 2000s, which arguably is I think the weakest decade of the action decades that we've done so far. We might be stretching to get the top 10 on that one, being a little generous. Like I said, Live Free or Die Hard, I think it's underrated. It might actually make the top 10. Things like that, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Well,
it also depends on what your definition of an action movie is.
Could have stuff like Dark Knight on there. Dark Knight's technically an action movie, so that could be pretty up there.
So we'll see, but I appreciate you guys sticking it out through this longer episode for tier rankers. It might be shorter if you're talking tournament fights, but it's longer for tier rankers. So but we'll just go around the horn, and you can to let us know where we can find you, or if you have anything you want to promote. So, Steven, we'll start with you. Where can we find you?
Through social media, as Shepard82 at Letterboxd, and Steven Shepard82 at, I think that's my handle for both Instagram and, although I don't have anything on TikTok but TikTok.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. Shepard at Twitter.
Don't worry for your TikTok, Steven. We'll just pull clips from Tier Ranker fights of you being muted and starting to talk. And that'll be your TikTok. And us going, "Oh, you silly goose, Steven."
But we do have you down for the 2000s action when we get there, so we'll have you back for that. So, and that'll be on Sunday, August 7th, just so you know. Richie, where can we find you?
You can find me on here, Tier Ranker and Tournament Fights. I'm not sure when my next one is. I'm sure Jordan will tell me, so I keep up with that.
You'll be for next Sunday for Jacob Barber's championship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
28. Yeah.
The championship 32 one. So yeah, I'll be on that, and then keep an eye out for my debate with Zachary Shelton on Battleground. Should be uploading soon, so check that out. I'm also every Thursday usually I'm on Lonely Marks with Jordan Owens and Jacob Barber and Austin, but we're taking a week off because Jacob's pretty busy. So, but next week we'll be doing a big, huge SummerSlam episode, so that'll be fun. You'll catch me judging here and there on Battleground too. I think I've got a few judging things coming up, so you never know.
Nice. Yeah. And apologies to Richie. I almost had to bump him because I thought 7 would be too many, but it actually worked out because Hotel Nerd had to leave early, so it worked out perfect. So I'm glad we got it.
That's
on. So, but Marie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Alia Morgaine. And on YouTube, my queer Star Wars YouTube channel at Afra's Artifacts.
Nice.
And then, and that's Mondays at 6 p.m. I release the episodes. They're not live; they're short.
Okay.
But that's when I release them. And then 2 Saturdays a month, I am on a live Star Wars show. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Oh, nice. Sounds good. Papa West, where can we find you?
You can find me all over the place. If you want to be my Facebook friend, it's Jacob E. West. That is very important because there are a lot of Jacob Wests out there, but only one who I found who puts their middle initial in their name.
Yeah.
And that is me. You can also find me over at TMG Trivia. I run singles and teams. We're in the middle of a singles tournament. I've actually been doing it too. I'm not taking a break anymore. So I have a couple matches coming out. I do have a team's title match coming out very soon too. The Fight Knights won their number 1 contenders match, and they'll be taking on the Detonators, who haven't played in 2 years, back when I didn't run it.
Nice.
And then also Movie Battleground over at TMG Entertainment, our debate stuff. You saw me show my love of James Bond against Pez a couple weeks ago. You will see me take on JD Domash relatively soon, I believe, where I'm going to try to win without putting any effort into it. And if you ever want to judge Movie Battleground, message me. We'll talk.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
we can always use more potential judges other than Chris Diaz and Brian Nussbaum.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'll get into that.
Yeah. We won't say much more about that. But
What's up, Ray?
Can I add something real quick? Speaking of matches, my last match of the Schmodown is going to be released on July 27th.
Oh, cool.
On Patreon, of course, because it's a Star Wars match. But I just want to put that out there. So it's gonna be a good one. It's against Alex Damon.
Oh, nice. The big dog of the league. Wow.
Going out with a bang, which is gonna be a bittersweet with the Schmodown ending. That's like a pretty sad thing. Like we're a big supporter of that community, so like we're always going to support that community. We're going to have everyone from that community on our shows. They're welcome anytime. So yeah, we're going to keep that community alive for sure. But Austin, where can we find you?
Yeah, I'll just mention, you know, I'm on here all the time, obviously, but me and Henry Confidential do a show called Let's Rank Stuff. We'll be talking some action tomorrow night because we'll be doing one of our crossover sort of franchise versus franchise rankings. We'll be doing Terminator versus RoboCop. So all 10 of those movies mashed into one ranking. So one ranking of 10 movies. So that should be fun. So Terminator versus RoboCop at some point tomorrow night. Just set the bell on his channel so you can know when we go live.
Yeah. Cool. And so I've got quite a few things going on. I'll try to make it as quick as I can. But you can find us on all the social medias at Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us over on the Showdown Friends and Family group on Facebook, and then if you have anything longer you want to send, we do have an email. Like if you have a list of topic suggestions, because we're always open to suggestions for tier ranker and tournament fights, so you can send those to moviehero2121@gmail.com. And then we're starting to bring back one of our podcasts we used to do, a podcast league now. So we're doing an episode Thursday night, since they're not going to have the Lonely Marks. We're going to take over that slot for 1 week, because we're kind of basing that around Chris Scott's schedule, because technically he's still a partner with the channel. His work schedule is just so crazy. He works a lot of nights. It's just hard for him to make it on this stuff. So he's going to join us for that, and we're going to be doing a little top 10 list of movies that make us cry, or that give us those chills that like kind of feel like we want to cry. So we're going to be yeah, so we're Small Soldiers. Yeah,
When the one action figure dies.
yeah. So we're gonna be doing that, and also it's a show where we kind of get to know your host a little bit, so we kind of talk about some kind of personal things with them, and they'll give you an update on that kind of stuff. And then I haven't announced it yet, but I'm gonna announce it here. We are gonna do a top 12 frenzy on Friday, so it'll probably be Friday, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern time is what I'm thinking. So I'll start hitting up some people for that. I'll even maybe put an open sign up on the Showdown Friends and Family and some of our social media. You can sign up for that if you want to play. So just some casual kind of top 12 trivia there. And then just a few. Well, actually, so I forgot one other thing. I've been doing some Snack Hero reviews, just trying out all kinds of wacky snacks. I meant to do it today, but it just got busy prepping for this episode, and I had to go do a little bit of work at my day job. So I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. We got some pretty wacky stuff. I'll just tease one. I'm going to be doing some pizza flavored ice cream. That's going to be probably disgusting, but I'm going to try it out for the entertainment value. So yeah, you can watch for that. But and then a little preview of some episodes that are coming up. Next Sunday, we have Jacob Barber's Top 128 Championships. We're going to finally crown his favorite movie of all time based on the votes of our group. So we got that coming up. We have a 3-way directors battle.
I'm on that too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you'll be on the 3-way directors battle, Richie. Yeah. So we each chose 3 directors, but excluding Steven Spielberg, because we're going to have a whole episode that's kind of based around him. And then from those 3 directors, we have to pick our 13 movies that we want to fight for in a tournament fights battle. So we're going to be doing that. We have part 2 of my favorite movies, part 2, and I just confirmed we're going to have Moose Haas on the episode with his cousin Ryan that we have from time to time. So it should be a good time. We're doing best wrestlers in movies for a tournament fights episode. Yep, you're on it too. And just because I wanted to have all the wrestling fans from our community on there, so we're going to do it right after SummerSlam, because SummerSlam will be the weekend right before that. So we have that, and then we also have best action movies of the 2000, and then just one extra one for you. We just figured it out. We're going to be doing best talk shows of all time. So just like your you're like Conan O'Brien, you're Jay Leno, Jimmy
Talk shows
Fallon,
and talk show hosts. Yeah, we should say.
yeah, like
Talk
Johnny
shows and talk
Carson,
show
Ellen
Mhm.
DeGeneres,
Talk show
all
host.
those. And yeah, so we're gonna do a talk show host. Yeah, so we're gonna be just having some fun, just voting on who we think is the best. So yeah, that's is a little preview of where you can find us. And yeah, but thanks again, you guys, for joining us. That was a lot of fun. So that'll do it. So for Steven, for Richie, for Marie, for Papa West, for Austin, for the Hotel Nerd, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.